What's going on, Raza? G Funky Boxing back. HCP is back, and I'm ready to cook, man. I got some things on my mind. Man. And I'm ready to get them off my chest. Now, I understand there's people that are out, celebrating tonight and all that stuff, and probably won't be a whole lot of people watching, but I'm going to get this off anyway, Thanksgiving is a thing that I don't do. I don't celebrate. So, I'm free right now, and I want to get some good boxing talking, man. I got some interesting topics here I want to talk about. Who knows? Maybe we'll get somebody to jump on and we'll talk. Do see some people in here though. I got it. My homeboy, mi carnal, Nopal Baxianos. What's going on, man? Fistiana is here. Hey, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, man, there's some interesting stuff going on, and I really, really wanted to give my take on this stuff, man. Like, for real. Let me turn on this camera. What's good, everybody? What's going on? How's everybody doing, man? Gano Loco says he's here, but barely. I don't know, man. You must be, I don't know if you're stuffed from your dinner or what, man, but thanks for being here. Appreciate that. This is HCP, the home of real boxing talk. And we're going to do some real boxing talk here today, man. And I want to touch on this real quickly, man. And we could probably go back to this a little bit later. Bruce Goes, what's up, man? I see you in the building. How you doing, man? I want to talk about this right here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quick. Kind of want to get this out the way because I feel like it's important to get it out the way. All right. So, with the fight between Canelo and Smith signed for November 19th, we have here, according to, well, I shouldn't say according to, but Michael Benson tweets, according to Eddie Hearn, that Eddie Hearn has revealed that there is no rehydration clause in the contract for Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Smith on December 19th. And Canelo did not request one. He said there is a rematch clause, though. So I want to get this out there, man, because I feel like, Canelo gets a lot of criticism, man. He gets a lot of criticism. And you know what? I'm no stranger to doing that myself. I've done that. Volts UK, we're going to get to that in a minute, bro. Don't trip. Hang on tight. If you can't stick around, you can come back and watch it later. If you're not subscribed, you can subscribe. You can check it. I just wanted to talk on this a few minutes here. But like I said, Canelo gets a lot of criticism, and I'm one of those guys that has done it in the past. The videos are still up. I don't take my videos down, none of that. But what's right is right at the end of the day. And I feel like there should be no excuse here if Canelo beats Callum Smith. There's no excuses. There's no catch weight. There's no rehydration clause. He's not stacking the odds against him. Nothing like that, man. And this is a good fight for a guy in Canelo who's been off. He's for over a year now. He's been inactive. This is a really good fight for him. Now is it the best opponent? Is it the opponents that we desperately want to see? I mean, no, and I don't expect him to, again, jump right out of the gate after a year off to do that. So, but this is a good opponent, a legit champion at 168. So, again, this right here for me is going to clear up a lot of stuff, man. Like, I don't want to hear any of this talk about how he did this or he did that to his opponent. He weakened his opponent somehow, some way. Like, this is just not the case, guys. And this is the type of guy that G Funky is, okay? When I'm wrong, and I have no issue admitting that. None at all. I heard the day before the Kovalev fight that they put a rehydration clause on Kovalev. And I ran with that for a little bit. It wasn't until I heard the interview with Buddy McGirt, who was Kovalev's trainer, where he said there was no rehydration clause. So you know what I did? I said, hey, I stand corrected on that. That's my mistake. You know, I heard something, I thought it was legit. Turns out it wasn't. So I had no problem saying I was wrong on that, man. I don't understand why that's such an issue for a lot of people. Some people think they're never wrong. They think that, you know, I mean, just think a lot of things. I mean, people are just sometimes just so full of themselves and never want to admit when they're wrong. But there was no rehydration clause in that fight, man. Andrew Charles, what's up, man? I see you, bro. Thanks for being here. So I want that out the way, man. I want that out the way right now. There's no excuse here, okay, for either guys. No excuse, especially, again, because Canelo's the guy that gets a lot of criticism. And believe me, guys, this is not me just trying to back up Canelo because he's Mexican and I'm Mexican. You know, I'm not even a fan of Canelo. I don't even have a favorite fighter. I'm not a fan of a fight. I'm a fan of the sport of boxing, and I keep it boxing, man, as my homeboy D-Style would say. So that's what I'm a fan of. I put the sport above any individual fighter, but when there's criticism there, when there's stuff to being done where you can criticize somebody, I'm gonna do it, and I've done it with Canelo. I'm no stranger to that. So you guys can't come on here and call me a fanboy and all this type of shit. I'm not like that, man. I don't do that sort of thing. Maybe later we'll get somebody from the Canelo cartel to come on and talk. Afro Rican G, my brother, what's up, man? But yeah, that's pretty much it on that. I wanted to get that out of the way because this next topic, I know this is what you guys want to see. Okay. And I don't blame you, There's been a lot of stuff going on. This has been a crazy year. And I want to say this, man. New media has just been out of control, man, with what they've been doing. Their clickbait videos and stuff like that. It's just completely out of control. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. All right, I'm going to show you what I mean. This dude, AKHi, right, who's a part of new media, and he's under Dante's Boxing Nation, who I am subscribed to. I've been subscribed to Dante for a long time. I don't want to make this seem like I'm here to just cut Dante's head off or anything like that. Dante and I are good. And I'll show you what I mean by that when I mean we're good. Okay, because look, I've been on YouTube a long time, man. I've been on here since 2011. And it was right around that same time, 2011, probably late 2011, early 2012, when I actually started to interact with Dante, and we used to leave comments on each other. He would come to my videos and leave comments on my videos. This is before he started covering fights and having fighters come on his radio show and stuff like that. This is before all that. I was subscribed to him when he was Dante 562, I believe. So this is nothing personal. It's just this dude AKHi has just, man. Not only is he putting up these clickbait videos, but like the people that he talks to on his show, I honestly believe he doesn't really want to have a conversation with somebody about these things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys, I know that they make a lot of good money with what they do, and look, that's cool, man. Get your money, bro. I mean, if people are silly enough to give you money based off of these clickbait titles that you put out there, then so be it, man. Good job. I'll give you that. But to a real boxing fan like myself, and to the guys and to the ladies and gentlemen that are subscribed to me, I feel like these guys are real fans, and you can't fool real fans with this nonsense that you guys have been pushing, man. Especially when it comes to this Glovegate thing, man. It's gotten really silly, man. Seen and unseen boxing. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? So, like I said, I'm subscribed to Dante, but I'm not subscribed to AKHi. But Dante shares a lot of AKHi's stuff, you know? And I'm going to show you what I mean. You guys see that title there? Let me make it full. Look at that. That title says breaking news, right? Breaking news. Deontay Wilder wins tampered glove case versus Tyson Fury. They're claiming that, I guess, this thing went to court. I guess. Nobody knew it, but it went to court, and Wilder won the case. I mean, somebody would definitely think that, right? When you see the title of that. I mean, right or wrong. Again, to the real boxing fan, we know that that's bullshit. But there's a lot of people that are there that are casual fans of the sport that would see that and think something of it. And you click on it and it's like, well, what the fuck is that? I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to say what the fuck when we click on it for sure. But yeah. I mean, this bullshit clickbait if there ever is. And then you can see the fine print there where it says Deontay Wilder wins tampered glove case versus Tyson Fury for cheating for criminal attempt. And then it says in a 101 debate. Oh man. I mean, like I said, I have to say something about this, man, because basically what happens here in this video, I'm going to play some of the audio for you guys, but basically what happens is somebody calls in, right? And these guys like to throw this term around, these decafs. And for those of you that don't know what that means, decaf, that means dumb, casual ass fan. Okay? That's all these guys want to talk to. They don't want to talk to anybody that has any real boxing knowledge. They don't want to talk to any experts in the field, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. You guys that are watching, and any of you guys that come later in the comment section, correct me if I'm wrong. But has Dante, AKHi, or Ego, have any of them ever talked to a glove expert concerning this? Have they? I haven't seen it. I haven't heard it. And this is supposed to be the new media, right? The home of the truth. We push the truth higher, nothing but the truth, you know, yet you're not seeking the truth because you're not even speaking to experts on the topic, man. There's people that work in the glove industry you could talk to. My homeboy from Leave It in the Ring, 97 Rough, he interviewed Ernesto Gabion from Everlast Gloves, who's an expert, who's worked for them for over 12 years now. Talk to him about the situation. That's a real expert on gloves. A real expert. Okay? Not these people on the internet that just take pictures, take one fucking picture from a whole fight and say, oh, look at that. There's something wrong with the gloves, you know? Why? I mean, these guys are afraid to talk to anybody. They're afraid to talk to anybody. They won't even talk to real knowledgeable boxing fans about the topic. If you disagree with them, oh, you're just a decaf, you know? That's all you are, just a decaf. I mean, if you go to Ego Boxing, who's another guy who, again, when he first started, he would come to my videos and leave comments on my videos. Before he started doing, you know, all the stuff he's doing now. And that's why I'm still subscribed to him. Even though I don't agree with about 90% of the stuff that he says, you know, I don't take it personal, you know, but I got to call bullshit when I see bullshit. And this is bullshit. He's another guy, Ego, who, if you just go to his channel and you just say you have a difference of opinion on the topic, he'll flat out tell his people to get you out of there. Block them, get them out of here. Like, what kind of punk stuff is that? Let me ask you guys something in the chat. A lot of you guys probably don't agree with everything that I say. Do I tell my guys with the wrenches to fucking throw you out of here for that? I don't do shit like that. You know why? Because I'm not afraid to have a conversation with people that have a different conversation. When you do stuff like that, man, you're terrified. You're scared of something. You don't want it. You can't handle a different opinion. That shows how much bullshit you're putting out there. When you don't even want to defend what it is that you're putting out there. You're too afraid to defend what you're putting out there. That should tell you all you need to know about these guys, man. I offer a link every Wednesday when I come on HCP and I talk about controversial topics. I have no issue talking with anybody about anything as long as you keep it boxing. Now, I don't just throw links out in the chat because there's a lot of trolls, like my boy D-Style says, they lurk in the shadows and they're just waiting for an opportunity to click on a link out there. So if anybody wants to get at me, you can email me. gfunky84boxing@gmail is the email. You can come on here and talk to me anytime. I'll do you one even better. I will personally love to get a hold of AKHi and talk to him, but on a neutral platform. I will never call his show. Never. So he can mute me and do all this other shit, you know. No, I am not going to allow him to do that to me. But I would love to have a conversation with this guy. I would love to. And here's the thing. If his boy Dante wants to talk to, we could talk too. I got no issue with that. Matter of fact, I'll tell you this right now. About 6 years ago, when I was very inactive, I was in and out of YouTube making videos. You know, I had just become a father. I was very busy, didn't have time to make videos like I used to, but I made a response video to Dante about a video he made about Marquez, Juan Manuel Marquez, that is. And it got to him. He saw it, he watched it, and he sent me a private message on YouTube. And he says, you know, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, you know, even though we disagree, you know, I like how you kept it professional and stuff like that. And he invited me to come on his radio show. And, you know, I said, hey, thanks a lot, man. You know, I'll see if I can do it. Like I said, at the time, like I said, I just become a father and I didn't have a lot of time. So did I take his invitation? Like, go on a show? No, I didn't go on a show, but he did invite me on a show. I still got the email if you guys don't believe me. I could show it to you if you don't believe me, but I got it. And now that I'm back full time, you want to talk to? We could have. I could talk to both of you at the same time on this topic. Not an issue with me, man. But let's listen to some of this. Let's listen to this, man. Let me read some of these comments for you guys here. Let's see. Seen and Unseen says it's all absolutely, and super chats, you know. Plate Collection Media. Volts UK says Ego's a weirdo. He does get weird sometimes, man. The fact that the guy doesn't want to speak to anybody is just flat out weird, and it's punk. It's straight up punk is what it is, man. Yep. Anytime. And I've had guys put me on the hot seat. I've had my subscribers come on and put me on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm no stranger to this, man. Gano Loco says, nope, I don't do that on my channel either. I let people speak as long as they're not being disrespectful. Exactly. Same for me. Same to me. I do the same thing, man. But let's listen to some of this, man. Let me get this ready for you. Okay, hold on. Let me switch my audio here so you guys can hear it better. But let's break this thing down, man. This is just silly. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio. L-Dub, what's up, man? I see you. What's up? Listen to this.
Leave Tyson Fury, didn't you?
That is correct, and I believe you are on the tape.
All right, we don't. I'm on the tape. We don't have that much time, so can you please explain to me how Tyson Fury glove was bending in 90 degrees when he was throwing a hook? Can you explain to me how is that physically possible?
Just let me run that back real quick, guys.
Please explain to me how Tyson Fury glove was bending in 90.
So check this out.
Look at this. He's got an Everlast glove, right? He's got the same exact one I got right here. Same exact glove, right? This is a glove that I bought from Big Five Sporting Goods here in my hometown, a sporting goods store. Okay, this is not a professional glove, guys. Okay, people got to understand that there's a difference between a glove for like training and hitting the bag and a glove that you wear for a fight, a professional fight. Okay, but this guy is trying to use this Walmart bought glove that he has. Let me see. As proof that you can't bend it backwards. Can't make this up, guys. But let's listen to some more.
Please, when he was throwing a hook, can you explain to me how is that physically possible?
I can easily explain that to you. You ever seen X-Men? You ever seen the movie?
X-Men. The guy says, have you seen X-Men?
Have you ever seen the movie Superman? Isn't he flying all around the earth?
So Tyson Fury is Superman? So Tyson Fury is Superman?
No, it was edited. It was edited.
Okay, so the caller is saying that the video that's been surfacing for months now where Fury's throwing the left hook and he's slapping with it, you know, and the glove is going back, you know, he's claiming that was an edited video by Deontay Wilder. But see, again, that's ridiculous too. But this is the kind of phone calls that these guys take. Why doesn't that take a phone call from somebody that actually knows some shit, or talking to somebody that actually knows some shit? You know, this is to make it seem like, yeah, man, can't nobody tell me nothing. I got all the answers. You know, nobody has pressed this guy, and he doesn't allow people to press him. I wonder why.
See, Wilder paid people just like he's paying you to put this out because he knows the first match and the second match.
That's what you come up with.
The first match and the second match.
That's what you come up with, DK.
He knows that.
Let me say this. So how did Wilder edit a video? This is footage during the fight. This is not a picture. This is literally a video. So how did Deontay Wilder edit a video? How did Deontay Wilder edit the fight itself? Does Wilder have magical powers? That's why you got to stop repeating what you hear on the net, because you run into saying some dumb shit like that. So explain that. So how did Wilder edit the video? How did Wilder edit a video? Because like I said, how is the glove bending in 90 degrees?
Hollywood.
The caller's claiming it's an edited video by Deontay Wilder, that it was edited. You know, like, again, see, this is the type of guys that they're only willing to talk to. People that just don't know shit, you know. Now, you know, the guy, I mean, again, it's not, you know, really, he was set up to make this guy look good, man. Let's listen some more.
You know, just like I know, Tyson Fury won that fight finish where he whooped Wilder's ass.
So Wilder's Hollywood, and he edited the whole fight on YouTube and the footage and on PBC, on ESPN. You believe Wilder have that magical power to edit footage? Not a picture,
that was a video. You only seen that. That wasn't the fight he's talking about. It wasn't the whole fight you guys seen.
It was during the fight. It was during the fight. It was during the fight. There's a footage of Tyson Fury throwing a hook and the glove bending in 90 degrees, which is not physically possible. That's why you sound mad.
It's not physically possible, yet we've seen it before. Sounds like he's the real decaf, but anyway, let's go.
Why wasn't it?
You sound mad silly right now. You sound mad silly right now.
Why wasn't it called out at the moment?
We have the footage, bro. We seen the footage. What you talking about?
I'm saying, why wasn't it called out at that very moment?
That's why you are the ultimate decaf, because see, when they say it was a photograph, they were talking about the pictures on the right glove. When we see Tyson Fury knuckles, that's when they say Photoshop. Not when it comes to the hook. The hook, that's a footage. That's an actual footage of Tyson Fury throwing a hook in a video. It's not a picture.
Again, using a Walmart bought glove. That's what he's doing.
Of Tyson Fury throwing a hook and the glove bending in 90 degrees. You can't edit that out. It's on PBC website. Just go back and watch the fight. You'll see it. You can't edit that out, but you repeat.
Funny how he says, oh, you can go back and watch the fight and see it, but yet you didn't see it. You watched the fight live when it happened, AKHi. How come you didn't catch it? Why? If it was that obvious, why didn't you catch it, AKHi? This shit didn't come out until after the second fight. Like, why didn't you catch it? You know, you got the eye, you got the eagle eye, you see everything, right? You didn't catch it the first fight, though, right?
On the net. That's why you sound mad dumb right now. And this is another one on some DJ Khaled, but this is a better one because this is the dumbest thing I heard so far. The man said Wilder Hollywood. Wilder got magical power.
Did you hear what I said? Wilder got his ass whooped.
We'll talk about that, Big Dog Willie. What's up, though? How you doing, man?
And that's the reason why you guys making up all these.
Hey, that's why you shook by the truth, because you making no sense whatsoever. Like I said, you
shook by the truth.
Dumb thing you hear from the net. Now you got bodied on.
For people living with HIV,
this guy got all these ads here, man. Here we go.
What world you live in? But how is it possible? How is it possible for?
How you figure that's impossible?
How is it possible for Deontay Wilder to edit a video clip? Explain that.
What do you mean?
How is it
that's
possible?
Easily done, but I'm talking about
I mean, is it not easy to edit a video clip? I mean, I'm not saying Wilder did that, but I mean, it's not that hard to do.
Explain it. How can Wilder edit a video clip that's on YouTube already? That's on PBC website. That's on ESPN website. Explain that.
I can't explain that because that's not happening.
See, the guy really doesn't know much about the sport, and that's the only reason why this guy took his call in the first place. You know, do some more.
To being able to explain it, I don't know exactly how he did it, but I know it's some Hollywood magic.
Oh,
that's what's going on.
It's some Hollywood magic.
Yeah, Hollywood magic. Again, the guy doesn't really know much about boxing, so that's why we're getting these kind of answers from him, you know. But here again, look, let's I'm going to share my screen again for you guys, okay? Because people are saying that it's impossible for the glove to move that way and stuff like that. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. Okay, can you guys see that? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge this. I'm gonna play a quick video clip of this right here. Of this video. Check this out. Did you guys see that glove? Look at that. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's impossible for a glove to bend like that. It's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible for your Walmart bought bag glove that you had with Velcro around the wrist. What do you call that? I want somebody to explain to me why Canelo's glove looks like that right now. Actually, I want AKHi to explain this to me. And any of his followers that come here and see this video, show him this. Show him this. I don't have IG Supreme. I'm on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at gfunky84. But look at that, guys. Why is Canelo's glove like this? Is against Chavez Jr. You're telling me that he needed to put his hand in the wrist area of the glove against Chavez Jr.? Like did he need to cheat to beat Chavez Jr.? I mean, is that the reason why the glove looks like that? I mean, these are things I need to know, guys. AKHi. I need to know. Look at that, man. Why does that glove bend like that? I mean, man. You tell me, guys. You tell me why. So is it impossible? Like he says, it's impossible for a glove to bend like that, you know? Not so impossible, huh? How about this? Let me go back to it. How about this? Whoa. And this is okay, so we can't blame that. Oh, well, he's hitting Chavez's guard with the glove. Yeah, I mean, you could share this video if you want to IG or whatever you got. I mean, I don't know how to do that, man. I'm sorry. But I mean, I'm just putting this out here, man. Are we gonna say that Canelo's a cheater now? Look at that glove. And again, this is before he's hitting him. So, and he's using the same glove here. Same exact glove that Fury wore in the first fight. Everlast MX gloves. And we see it bending back. I mean, there's no way that, first off, it's not an advantage to have your hand in the wrist area, number one. But number two, like Canelo wouldn't need to cheat Chavez Jr. to beat him. Chavez Jr. was a dehydrated dead man in this fight. Chavez Jr. is a straight bum. I mean, guys, look, this is, again, man, this is nothing new, man. We see it all the time in boxing, especially with soft gloves like MX gloves or Clito Reyes gloves. These are soft gloves historically. We all know that. That's why they call them the puncher's glove. But there's a reason why they call them soft. There's a reason why the reason why they're made soft. And I'll show it to you right now. This is an interview from Leave It in the Ring with Ernie Gabion, who is a guy who works for Everlast now for 12 years, a glove expert. Okay? Again, this is real reporting, guys, from Leave It in the Ring. This is not new media shit, okay, where they don't want to talk to anybody that has any knowledge on anything, right? They just push their fucking narrative, the clickbait titles, and run with it. And people follow it for some reason. I don't know why, but why not talk to an expert? I mean, why is that an issue? Why can't we talk to the experts? Huh? Why can't they talk to the experts about gloves and how they're made and whatnot? Let me play you some audio of this.
The multiple videos that have been posted up on YouTube about the glove gate. That's the new thing right now that's trending through the internet.
You hear him just laughing it off, glove gate? Like,
between Tyson Fury and Deontay.
Here's the thing. Let me stop you right there. This isn't even Glovegate.
Okay.
The Glovegate was initially, Glovegate is Maidana Mayweather. That's Glovegate.
Oh.
This is nothing. This is just a bunch of conspiracy theorists who think that they know anything about gloves, but yet never really ask anybody in the glove business if their theories were factual. And, you know, I'm sure myself, I'm sure, you know, the team at Reyes, you know, I'm sure Grant Elvis Phillips would have told them the same. This is a bunch of hooey. You know, you can't keep, you know, dragging people down in the mud that take their whole lives in what they put on the fighter's hands. And you know, it was just insulting to hear all the conspiracy theorists, you know, as to why, you know, Fury did this, did his glove look like that? It was pathetic. Now the original Glovegate, Mayweather Maidana, that was a little bit more layered and, you know, and just, it was actually, it had teeth to it, whereas this is just actually silly.
so a glove expert laughs it off, calls it silly, a bunch of hooey, right? Now, that's the reason why guys like AKHi, Dante, and Boxing Eagle will never speak to somebody with any real experience in gloves. Never. Because he's not going to say what you want him to say. You're not going to hear what you want to hear there. You're just not. And that's some real punk stuff, man. That's not media. That's not new media. Well, I should say that is new media because that's how they roll, but that's not how you should be covering the sport. You should be talking to people that make gloves, that know gloves in and out, like Ernie does. These are the people you should be talking to, man. Not young Pharaoh, who's not even a boxing fan, and they took his word as gospel, as gold. You know, they took his word as gold. The guy doesn't even watch boxing. He doesn't even have a boxing channel. Ridiculous. Let's hear some more what Ernie's got to say.
Funny thing is that no one really asked a glove person. It doesn't even have to be me, but no one really asked a glove person if this was a legit argument. And they would have said, no, it's not a legit argument. There's two.
Not a legit argument. And we know why. Again, we know why they don't ask. But that's something that, I mean, that's just, to me, that's a huge red flag for anybody that wants to follow these guys. You know, like, why haven't you spoke to anybody that knows a thing or two about gloves? Why? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of, AKHi? You only want to speak to the decafs, huh? Let me get the decafs on. Let me see what the decafs got to say. They know their shit, right? Yeah, that's what I want to talk to. Let's hear some more from what Ernie's got to say.
This is the way I see it. If the conspiracy people thought there was something legitimately wrong with the gloves, they would have to ask someone who works in the glove making business to say, hey, is there something legit? And I venture to say that there wouldn't be a single person that sat there and said, yeah, you're onto something, because it's not possible or feasible to alter a glove from the time, because here's the thing, once the gloves are selected for the fight, they're sealed up, put in bags, and they go back with the commission. So nobody sees these gloves until the commission arrives.
Why haven't they reported that? Why hasn't AKHi reported that there's an actual glove selection meeting and the trainers get to touch them, the fighters get to touch them, they get to put them on, right? The commission gets to inspect them. Come on, AKHi, step your fucking game up, bro. You're supposed to be a media, new media, right? The truth got them shook. You're not seeking the truth, bro. You're not going to people that know what the fuck they're talking about. Anyway, let's keep moving.
The fighter's dressing room gives me, here's your number one primary pair, here's the backup pair, and that's it. That's clearly just, that's it. These gloves don't ever really sit in the hands of a fighter for any period of time, other than to put them on and take them off, or to try them. Put them on. That's either at the at the weigh-in or at the fight, and then off. So
that's the only time that they get to put on the gloves that they fight with is after the weigh-in to inspect them, and then before the fight, and then obviously they have them on during the fight. But how come they don't report that shit, man? How come they haven't broke down the glove selection meeting to their subscribers? Why haven't they given them that information, huh? What are they afraid of? You know? Let's continue on.
Fury, having to put it at the cuff, and or you could see, look at the way it bends. No glove bends like that, and that's actually not true. Softer, pliable gloves made with a softer leather will bend like that, and the reason why isn't necessarily to make it
bombshell right there from a glove expert. The gloves will bend like that.
Not true. Softer, pliable gloves made with a softer leather will bend like that. And the reason why isn't necessarily to make it a puncher's glove. I think that's just kind of the residual factor out of it. More so to carry with your hands your opponent's shots. We make our gloves like the MX glove is our softest glove. So that way you can actually carry your opponent's shot. And it's a soft glove. I think it goes without saying that it is a soft glove. Yeah, but a lot of these gloves, especially out of Mexico, are soft like that for that very purpose. So, I mean, I couldn't take ever reply to anybody with it, because even when they were going on and on and on and they were taking it as a serious debate, I just sat there and observed it for the comedic value of it.
It's comedic value to him. Comedic value. And I know what you mean, Cono Loco, because I know glove inspectors, bro. I spoke to them. And I'm not going to reveal what they've told me, but, you know, they do catch guys doing dirty shit. They do catch them, you know? But again, we heard it from a glove guy, a guy who knows gloves in and out. He goes on to talk about how the gloves are even made, you know, what's inside of them, how they make the gloves. You know, you just listen to the rest of the video. Just go to Leave It in the Ring and just type in Glovegate, and you'll see it there. Where the video is called Glovegate, Is It Real? Could Fury Have Cheated? When they talk to a real expert guy, someone that knows what the fuck he's talking about, not just the decafs, the decafs, yeah, you know. And believe me, I got a lot more shit for AKHi. I'm only putting out a piece right now. I want to see if he's got the balls to actually talk to me. I want to see if he's got the balls to talk to somebody that actually knows some shit, that actually knows people, you know? Somebody that knows some shit. Not just the decafs, you know? But he's a decaf himself, man. Only a decaf will take a glove that he bought at Walmart and try to use it like, hey, look, it won't bend that way. Look, it's impossible for it to bend that way, you know? Like, they don't use these gloves in the ring, you dummy. Stop with that madness, man. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. And people, that's the sad part is people believe it, man. They believe it. I want to talk to this guy, man. And I'm not going to call a show, because all he's going to do is mute me and, you know, hang up on me. Or if I call and I get a hold of him and I start cutting his ass up, he's just not going to answer. I've seen him do that before. There's people that made videos that say, look, I call this guy's show and he won't answer my call. He acts like your number's not there. I believe it. I believe it, man, because again, these guys don't talk to anybody. And if you disagree with them in the live chat or whatever, like they just tell their people to throw you out, delete them, get rid of them, get them out of here, you know? Like that's really some punk stuff, man. And here on G-Funk's channel, man, we don't do that shit. Now, it happened a couple times on my last video I did where somebody got timed out and literally for nothing. Because somebody said something about a fighter, they got mad, and you know, like I don't want you guys with wrenches, I don't want you guys timing people out just because they say something that or they have a different opinion than you. Like that's not what I want here. I don't want to censor people, you know, and I'm not sensitive, you know. If they start getting personal with anybody in the chat or anybody on the panel, then you can just say, you know what, hey, take it easy or you're out of here. You know, if they start saying racial comments and stuff like that, get rid of them from there. You know, none of that's allowed on my channel. But if just because they like a fighter that you don't like, or they think one fighter is going to be the fighter that you think, like, don't get rid of them, man. Don't get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And the sad part is people, they buy into this shit, man. D-Lo's here. He says Canelo's notorious for implementing clauses to benefit him. But if it's not legitimate, people shouldn't push. Exactly. And that's why I put it. I talked about that in the first few minutes here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm looking for this dude, man. I know he won't come on my platform because, you know, obviously he's going to think the same that I'm thinking about his platform, that I'm just not going to allow him to say anything. Like, in all honesty, I would never do that to anybody. Like, I've had trolls come on my show before, and I've given them the opportunity to speak without cutting them off, without muting their mics. I don't do that, but I mean, I'm sure he won't believe that. But I'm willing to talk to this guy on a neutral platform, man. It's about time that these guys step up to the plate and talk to somebody that knows some shit. All they want to do is address people in the comments, crazy fanboys in the comment section. Decafs, like they call them, the decafs, you know? This guy AKHi he's the real decaf, man. This guy knows nothing. That video is horrible, man. Horrible. Horrible. But, you know, I really want a piece of this dude, man. And again, Dante invited me on his platform. I couldn't do it back in 2014. Didn't have the time, but I'm free now. HCP has been cooking, man. We've been living up to our name. We causing panic around here, you know? We causing panic, baby. And I know that this dude don't want no smoke with anybody that's legit, man. G-Funk will destroy this cat. First round KO. First round KO. I've already slashed this nonsense that he just pushed out. This clickbait video that he put out. Let me show you guys again this title. For those of you that just came in. Look at this video. Making it seem like like it went to court. Nobody knew it went to court, and Wilder won the case, you know. But all he did was talk to some guy on his show, some caller, and that's it, pretty much, you know.
Sorry, guys, I forgot to switch my mic back, but yeah, look at that title. All it is him talking to some guy who really doesn't know the sport that well. And, you know, it's easy for him to look good against people like that, you know? This dude's a coward, man. This dude is a coward. He only wants to talk to people that he knows he's got more knowledge than, that he knows he can make them look silly. That's a coward's way. That's a coward's way of doing shit, man. You know, a real man will battle any adversity. A coward will only fight a battle that he knows he could win. And that's exactly what AKHi is, a coward. Him and ego. I can't say that about Dante because, again, Dante actually invited me on his show. Now, I know he doesn't do shows anymore, but if he comes back to doing shows, believe me, I'm cashing in on that invitation. But ego, again, if you have a difference of opinion, I'll get this motherfucker out of here. Block that motherfucker. Block him. Delete him. What are you so afraid of, man? Again, a man will battle any adversity. And a coward will only fight a battle he knows that he can win. And that's all that these guys do. That's all they do. And they're living off that one photo. But what's funny is if you see the next frame, the glove looks completely different. You know, like they don't take that into account, though, you know. The floppy gloves, right? The gloves don't flop like that. They don't flop that way. Pintor. Gloves don't bend like that, huh? Okay. Whatever you say. Let's show it again. Look at that. Now, why on earth would Canelo need to cheat? Like, because according to AKHi, this is cheating if the glove bends like that. That's cheating right there. That's cheating, and gloves don't bend like that. That's funny. But we see it. We've seen it in other fights, you know? The soft gloves bend that way. They do. They just do. We heard Ernie Gabion just say it right now. A glove expert, a guy who works for Everlast, which is, again, the gloves that Canelo was wearing right here and the gloves that Fury were wearing in the first fight with Wilder. The soft gloves do bend. And they're that way because he says that they want the fighters to be able to parry the shots from their opponents. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. These guys are terrified to talk to anybody real, man. Terrified. They'll never do it. They'll never do it, man. Bunch of cowards. Bunch of damn cowards, man. It's pathetic. Look at this. I'll share my screen again with you guys. Believe me, I got bombs for this kid. Bombs for this kid. And I'm not letting them all out. But look at this. There's Cunningham with his bullshit too. But look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at that glove, man. Look at that. They complained about that, right? The flick jab. They complained about that. Again, same glove. Same glove. MX. And again, this is Amir Khan. Do you really think that Canelo needed to cheat to knock out Amir Khan? These are questions that this guy he's got an answer, man. He needs to answer these questions. But he won't talk to anybody with any kind of knowledge because he's scared. He's fucking scared. But I'm calling your punk ass out, AKHi. Be a man. Step up to the plate. Meet me on a neutral platform, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to get to work. Yeah, they probably will run with this. Believe it or not. But who would believe that Canelo really needed to cheat against Amir Khan, you know? Yeah, there you go. Egg weights too. He's got egg weights. I mean, he said it's impossible for a glove to bend like that. It's impossible, AKHi, huh? Well, I just gave you 2 examples right now. Just gave you 2 examples of how it is possible. Not only that, but again, the glove expert broke it down for you. And these guys haven't spoke to any glove experts, but they're supposed to be media. They're supposed to be new media, but afraid to talk to anybody that knows some shit. Afraid, man. Pitiful, dude. Just pitiful, these guys. And people are lined up to give these guys money. I mean, man, I don't get it. How about I do this for you guys, especially for these new media guys, right? Check this out. The gloves don't bend, huh? Let's go here. I'm going to go there, okay? I'm going to go there. What do we see here, man? Oh man, did you see that glove? Haney slapped him with a left hand right there. Look, you see the glove bend back? Glove is loose. Look at that. Look how much. Look at that big gap. I mean, that's what these guys did with Tyson Fury. Why aren't they keeping that same energy? Why aren't they keeping that same energy? Oh, because they love Haney. That's right. They love Haney. No way he'll ever cheat, right? Somebody explain it. This is a Grant glove that he's wearing too. I want AKHi to address this. Look at that. He slapped him with the left, and you see the glove bend back. Tag somebody, please. I hope this gets back to him. I want to see if this guy's got the guts to talk to me about it. And believe me, I got a lot more shit here, man. A lot more. This is nothing. The tip of the iceberg right here. But these dudes, man, they're so full of shit. Especially this kid, AKHi, full of shit, man. I mean, am I tripping, guys? Or is that glove bent backwards? Or is it just me? Am I tripping? Am I saying that Devin Haney's a cheater? Absolutely not. Because I keep that same energy around here, man. There's a perfectly good explanation for it, just like there's a perfectly good explanation for Fury's glove doing the same thing, man. Perfectly good explanation. But look at that. Yep. You're right. I guess Haney had his hand in the wrist area. Yet he couldn't knock out Gamboa, right? I mean, it generates so much power according to these guys, right? Hitting them with the bare fist, you know. Silly, man. Silly stuff, man. And Jerry, this is not about the LDBC, man. This is about AKHi. AKHi TV is who we're addressing here, man. Nobody else. I want to know, does that glove look normal to you guys? Yeah, I hear you, Bruce Goes. I haven't had a chance to check that out, but I seen it. I seen the thumbnail for the interview. Gonna check that out real soon. But this, I mean, if Fury's glove looks suspicious, then why isn't this suspicious? You know, these dudes, man, these dudes just, man, new media my ass. Okay, but he won't talk to me. And this will be the last time I address it, man, because, you know, that video, that title of that video, I was like, okay, this needs to be addressed. Like, you're really gonna put that title in that video that Wilder won the case against Tyson Fury about the gloves? Like, that never even happened. They haven't even gone to court for that. Like, what are you talking about? And to put that in the title of a video, and then you click on the video and it's just him talking to some casual fan about boxing. Some guy that doesn't know anything. Like, those are the type of dudes that they want to talk to, man. Talk to G Funky. Talk to me. I'm not a big channel. I don't have thousands of followers like you do. Talk to me. I'm a hardcore fan. Talk to me. What are you hiding? What's the reason? This is the video I'm talking about, Jerry. I want to just let you know what I'm talking about here, man. Give me 1 second. This is why I put in the title of this video. You see that right there? AKHi TV. Right there. Wins tampered glove case versus Tyson Fury for cheating for criminal attempt. I mean, have they gone to court? I haven't heard nothing about them going to court for the gloves. Yet it's in the title of the video, you know? So we're going to stick on topic here, Jerry. This is about AKHi and new media. New media. The whole truth. The whole truth, you know? No, ATP is the home of the truth, all right? Right here, G-Funky Boxing, D-Style Boxing, Chicano Prophet, Nopal, Cano Loco, the home of the truth, all right? And I'm willing to step in the ring with this dude, right? I'm willing to step in the ring with this dude and slap box with him, because that's all it's going to take. So slap this dude around real quick, you know? Easy work, man. Easy work. What I've shown right here already destroyed his whole video, you know? But believe me, I got a lot more for this clown, you know? But I think I've already made my point, man. So I talked about Canelo earlier, about how there's no rehydration clause for his fight against Smith. So there's no excuse for anybody to say he weakened him or he gave him a rehydration clause or something like that. Like, that's out the window, guys. Eddie Hearn, who's Smith's promoter, put it out there and said there is no rehydration clause. I'm definitely calling him out, Black and Brown. Definitely, bro. Thanks for being here, man. My brother, Black and Brown. But I got a few minutes here, guys. Actually, I got more than a few minutes, but if you guys want to shoot me some questions about anything, or if anybody wants to jump on, let me know. You can send me an email. I'll send you the link. But, you know, that's pretty much what I wanted to do. There you go. You know, there's going to be guys just waiting to say something like that about Canelo. You know, and like I said, I had no problem standing corrected when I thought that there was a rehydration clause for Kovalev, you know. There was reports that came out the day before that they said that there was. And come to find out, Kovalev's trainer said there wasn't. So I had to stand corrected on that. No big deal, you know. Man, you really think so, bro? I don't know, man. I mean, Badu Jack's not as good as he used to be, but man, I don't know, man. I think Blake's too green, man, in my opinion. I mean, I hope he wins, don't get me wrong. I'll be rooting for him for sure. But man, I just don't know. I just don't know about that one, man. But you guys ain't got nothing, huh? I know you guys are probably, just, hanging out with your families and stuff. I get it, man. But, see, G-Funk doesn't do Thanksgiving, man. So that's why I'm free right now, That's why I got some time here to come on and talk with you guys and expose these bullshit AKHi nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But you guys ready for Tyson or what? Tyson, Roy Jones, man. Now they're changing the rules. I guess once people got word that there was no winner or no knockout. I mean, I'll be honest. When I heard that, I was like, hey, there's no way I'm buying that fucking shit. But it looks like they changed it, so we'll see. But here's my thing, man. If they're willing to change the rules this last minute, like days before the fight, like what's stopping them from changing it the day of the fight? People pay for it. Everybody's paid for it already, and then once it starts, they're like, hey guys, I guess the doctors decided it's for the best that we not allow a knockout. What's to say? What's stopping them from doing that? They've already changed the rules multiple times. I kept hearing a lot of different reports. I figured hearing the reports the Tuesday before the fight would be, close enough to say, okay, this is the rules, they're set in stone, but obviously it's not. So that what that tells me is that there is an opportunity for them to change the rules again if they wanted to, after they've gotten everybody's money. I think I'm gonna go row my boat gently down the stream for this one, man. Because I don't want them to pull that shit on me, man. That would be disappointing. There's a big part of me that wants to take Jones in that fight because I was a big Roy Jones fan back in the day. Never really was a Tyson fan, especially after what he did to my boy Holyfield after he bit his ear. Like that kind of just did it for me, But man, Roy has been knocked out so many times. His chin is just not there. But then again, Tyson, this is 15 years now that he's been out of the ring. So who's to say he could take a shot from Roy? What if he can't take a punch anymore? What if he can't go the full 8 rounds, even though they're only 2-minute rounds, who knows, man? What do you want to talk about with him? Is that fight official or what? I mean, I've heard that there's rumblings about it, but I don't know if it's official. You know what I'm saying? But it's a good fight. It's his mandatory. Like, I mean, people be mad at him for taking his mandatory, but they're mad at Lomachenko for not taking his mandatory. When his mandatory was Devin Haney, he didn't take it, so everybody's like, oh, fuck him. He ducked, blah, blah, blah. Yet Teofimo's going to fight his mandatory, and everybody's mad. I mean, let's keep it consistent here, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Stop me when I lie. Did they not get mad at Lomachenko for not taking his mandatory? What's going on, D Hodges? Yeah, if they're still negotiating, then yeah, I usually like to wait until the fight's official. You know what I'm saying? Before I start talking about it, or at least trying to break it down. But yeah, it looks like I'm not getting much Q&A here, which is cool. Like I said, I understand people are doing their thing. They're doing. Oh, you want to jump on, Kano? Give me a second. Send you a link. Let me know if you got it, man. That's there. Hey, thanks, Black and Brown. I gotta represent my culture, bro. You know, that's why this is why I don't celebrate to Thanksgiving today, because I got a lot of native blood in me, man. So there's no way I'm doing that, man. I just can't. My heart won't let me do it. What's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
I got you loud and clear, man.
Yeah, no, I just been hearing a lot of rumblings, people crying about this possible George Kambosos Jr. opponent. I mean, he is 19-0, 10 knockouts, ranks number 6 in the world. He just beat Lee Selby, and before that, he fought Mickey Bay. So, like, he earned his right to be that mandatory. So, why are people complaining about that?
It's just fanboy stuff, man, is what it is. People want that Devin Haney fight really bad, and believe me, I'm one of them too. I wouldn't be mad if they made that fight next. I'm going to watch it. But it looks like he's going to take on his mandatory from the IBF, I believe, right? That's the mandatory from the IBF. Yeah. So again, man, these guys got to keep that same energy, man. If you're mad at Lomachenko for not taking his mandatory when it was Devin Haney, then you can't be mad at Teofimo when he's taking his mandatory.
Well, see, my thing is, I'm with you. Listen, look, I want to see the Haney fight just as bad as anybody else does. The difference is I'm not going to get in my feelings knowing that Kambosos Jr. is IBF mandatory, and he has that option to do that. He's going to face that mandatory, and fighting him in Australia will be great. It would do great numbers for them because Kambosos Jr. is from there. I think that they'll have that Maloney fight on the undercard as well, from what I'm understanding. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense, and it can only help build up the fight even bigger for later. I don't see the problem. I don't get in my feelings over that stuff.
Same for me, man. People have been very, very inconsistent when it comes to this topic. And I'm one of those guys. I'm willing to have a discussion with anybody. The last Uncensored I did, no, not Uncensored. The last HCP we did, we had on Kenny Caraway from ESPN 1320 here in my hometown come on, and we had a lot of conversations about the possibility of a Devin Haney fight, and he's on the opposite side of he has an opposite opinion than me, and he came on. I had no problem talking. G Money 915, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. I haven't heard anything on it yet. I haven't read anything on it yet, but it's definitely something we'll be talking about for sure, man. Black and Brown, what's good, bro? You there? Can you hear us?
Well, while he figures that out, yeah, I heard that. I saw the video when you had I think it was you, D Styles, and the guy from ESPN Radio. I just found it shocking. Well, I shouldn't find it shocking, but that he didn't know who George Kambosos Jr. is or what his credentials were. None of that. I think that before. No disrespect to him. So if he's listening, no disrespect. I just think that before you speak on a subject like that, you got to do your homework on the other possible opponent. That way you can better understand why this fight is possibly the next one for him. I don't know if that came out right.
No, I know what you mean. And to be honest with you, I don't know if he knows him or he doesn't. It's just his position is he wants the Haney fight now, right now, or it's no good. And look, man, we all understand that boxing is not a lamp. It's not a genie in the lamp. We can't just rub the lamp and get 3 wishes. Like, this is not the way it works, man. If it happens, I'm all for it. But if it doesn't, look, that's just a part of the sport, man. We know that. Haney's on his own. Is he willing to come over to ESPN to fight Teofimo? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so neither.
I just think, man, if Teofimo goes ahead and does the mandatory with George Kambosos Jr. in Australia, Devin Haney can fight Fortuna, or why is he not yelling for Gary Russell Jr. now that he's available? Why isn't he screaming now like he was before?
There you go.
They're both available.
Even Linares is available now. He was supposed to fight Fortuna. That fight didn't happen because he caught COVID. So that's he's on the zone. He fights on his own, Linares. That's, to me, that's a good fight for Gamboa. I mean, not Gamboa. I'm sorry, Haney. You know, good fight. Black and Brown, what's on your mind, bro?
What up, fellas? What up? No, I just love this topic. I love the Gambosos fight. I love it for Teofimo. I don't know anybody who don't like this fight is just, you know, out here trying to petition for Devin Haney to get the fight. Because if you look at it, the Gambosos fight is a great fight for Teofimo. What other fight is there? What's he gonna wait for? Gambosos is an entertaining fighter. He's been winning like Cano Loco just said. He's been winning his last fights. He deserves the fight. Teofimo deserves this fight. He deserves to go make his money. He deserves to go get his name out there. Teofimo's not the one that has to play catch up or wait for anybody. If you want my opinion, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, them guys are playing catch up. And if they want the Teofimo fight, then they got to put themselves in a position where they're bringing something to the table for that Teofimo fight. Like you just said, G Funky, I don't know all the way if Devin Haney wants that Teofimo fight right now. His fans might want it. His team might be they might be calling for it. I don't think behind the scenes, I don't think they're ready for that fight. I don't think they want that fight. They're still 2 fights away. And in my opinion, Devin Haney hasn't done nothing to put himself in position for that fight. If anybody has, it's going to be Ryan Garcia after he beats Luke Campbell. That's who's going to be in position for that fight, not Devin Haney. So I don't know, man. I think it's a great fight for Teofimo, and Devin Haney got work to do.
I agree, man. I think that Ryan Garcia he's moving in the right direction. A Luke Campbell fight, that is not a guaranteed win for him. Look, my boy D-Style is picking Campbell to beat him. You know, like it's one of those fights. It's not an easy fight for Garcia. That's the kind of fight I want to see Haney in. I want to see him in a fight where it's like, I don't know if he's going to win or not. You know, we haven't seen that yet. I agree, man. It's difficult to get a guy to just jump right over everybody to jump in there with the guy who was the best at the weight class. And, you know, I'm not going to say no names yet, but there were some people saying that, you know, again, big channels on here were saying things like, if Teofimo beats Lomachenko, then he demands the big purses against anybody.
Man, did you say that these styles is leaning towards Luke Campbell?
He's picking Luke Campbell from what I understand.
Oh my God! Why does he have? Ooh, I'm leaning that way too. I don't like it when me and him agree on a fight. I'm leaning that way too. I don't know, man. There's something about Ryan Garcia that I don't understand. I really don't understand how he's got all these high class trainers and Canelo around him and all of this, yet he still keeps his chin so high. Somebody that's a veteran that can work around that is going to clip that chin. He's always have it so high. He's been fortunate up to now. I will say his luck up to now.
That's definitely a problem. That chin needs to be tucked.
Give him time, Cano. Give him time, Cano. He's only 21, 22. He'll get it down. Give Eddie time. Give Eddie time to mold him. He'll get it down.
Black and Brown, but he's facing Luke Campbell. He's a veteran. I mean, I know he's not the greatest of opponents, but man, he is a veteran, man. He might expose that chin sticking up that high. That's his very next fight.
This one's the test. This one is the test to see if what Eddie's been working on, see if it's working. This one is the test. This is the measuring stick right here.
I agree. This is a fight where we're gonna find out if Garcia is legit or not. You know, up until this point, you know, I'll give him credit for that Duno fight. There was a lot of haters out there screaming that he was scared of Duno, that Duno was gonna knock him out. Look what happened. He went in there and blitzed that dude in one round. You know, he shut that noise off real quick. You know, and that's what I like about Garcia is he goes in there. I know he's in there again, like his last fight with Fonseca. I mean, of course we know he was supposed to win that fight, but look what he did. He got him out of there quickly. One round again. So I like the fact that he goes in there and gets these dudes out of there. But I agree with Conor. That is a major issue. That shit needs to be tucked. And if it doesn't get solved in this training camp, Campbell will expose it. I think he's going to get it under control, and I think he's going to win. but we will see. That's a major issue that needs to be fixed. No doubt about it, man. Let's see here. G Money says Haney could fight Lomachenko, Linares, Russell, Raleigh, or Tank. Haney needs to up his resume. He is untested, unproven. I agree. He's definitely untested and unproven at this point, man.
Lomachenko's
and some of those names, like the Gary Russell name or the Linares name. I love the Linares name, the Fortuna name. He's going to need like 2 of those to compete with what Teofimo has already accomplished and what he is going to accomplish. Going to fight Gambosos, even though people don't know who that is, us boxing fans, we know who that is. We know what kind of fight that is. And going to Australia to defend his belt, come on, man. Devin Haney get left in the dust. It's going to take Fortuna, Linares, Russell. It's going to take 4 or 5 names for him to catch up at this pace.
I agree. I mean, I think that Magdaleno, the time that Teofimo fought him, is a better opponent than anybody Haney has faced. Go ahead, Connell.
Nah, I don't want to knock Haney or nothing like that. I think he's a great talent, man. I think he's gonna go far in boxing, but I mean, the facts are the facts, Black and Brown. You're right about that. You know, Teofimo is in the driver's seat. He earned that. I don't believe Haney will fight Lomachenko, because I think Lomachenko is gonna go back down to 130, and I don't blame him for doing that. So, and Tank, we don't know. I think Tank is better at 130 to 135. So we'll see what he decides to do. But anyway, that's my take on it.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too, that Loma's going to move back down. I just, I think he should stay at 135, man. I think he can beat a lot of these guys there. He's already proven that he could beat Campbell, who's a good fighter, Linares, who's a good fighter, who's chinny. We all know that, but he was a champion at the time. He beat up Pedraza at that weight class. I mean, he's knocking these guys down, knocking them out. I mean, to me, the small guy stuff goes out the window when guys start doing that in the division. If he was small, then we would know right away. He wouldn't be hurting these guys. He wouldn't be stopping these guys. But if he wants to move back down to 130, that's his decision. But I think there's some good fights for him there. At 135 still, but there's good fights too at 130 also. So
yeah, no, I don't mean that he can't fight at 135. I just think 130 is his best weight class. Is where he shines the best. At will be at 130. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does. It does. And, I even said that in my breakdown of the Lopez Lomachenko. I said that he's been getting hit a lot more strictly because he's facing guys that are bigger and guys that could take punches better, or could take his punches better,
Yeah.
At 130, we could definitely see the difference, but he was still able to knock guys out, stop guys, and hurt guys, knock guys down. So, I mean, we'll see. Any thoughts on that, Black and Brown?
Yeah, I think after the young kids move out the way, get out of 135, I think Loma's fine there. But I agree with Kano. I want him at 130. I like the fights there that are possible. The Miguel Burchelt fight, the Jojo Diaz fight, even the Tank Davis fight. The Tank Davis Lomachenko, in my mind, is so intriguing. I want to see that matchup so bad at 130. I like.
Don't forget about Shakur.
I like the matchups. Yeah, Shakur.
Yeah, Shakur too. Yeah.
Shoot, man. I mean, I think you can go pick up an easy belt versus Jamal Herring real quick and get right back in the action at 130.
That'd be the easiest one too. Herring.
Yeah, and that's probably the most likely because they're both top rank. That's an easy fight to make right there. Let's see what D Style.
Real quick, let me jump back in. Let me jump back to Devin Haney real quick. Man, Kano, I'm the biggest Devin Haney fan, and I've been on YouTube supporting Devin Haney and going at it with these Teofimo fans, right? Over the last 8 months, ever since last September, right? Mm-hmm. And man, it's just the facts are what they are. Teofimo has just left him in the dust. And as much as I, get on YouTube and I argue for Devin Haney, I just cannot keep arguing for him because he just doesn't give me nothing. If he would give me something, I would still be, on YouTube arguing for him and rocking with him. But there's just nothing for me. I got no ammunition. So I was like, if you can't beat him, join him. So I had to jump on the Teofimo bandwagon.
Well, to be fair, I support. I'm all for Devin Haney as well. Some of it wasn't his fault, when when they made Lomachenko the franchise, you know, he wasn't going to be able to get that fight. I think he tried to get the Luke Campbell fight. That didn't happen either. Some of it, and I'm not saying it's a duck either, by the way. I don't like that word too much, okay? But it was a strategic moves by them, but it hurt Haney. So Haney was kind of like left hanging and wasn't able to get better fights at that time. Now, I know for a fact Fortuna was not available back then. He is now. So I don't know. Maybe he gets that fight now. I don't know.
I hope so. I think that's a good fight. I think that's a real good fight for Devin Haney. It's a name. People, you know, Fortuna's got power too. I mean, he's not the most crafty. It's not the most beautiful looking thing that he does, you know, but he tends to get to guys, you know. I mean, there's a couple of guys I've seen Fortuna against that I thought he was going to lose for sure, but he lands something and the fight changes, you know. I got to give him that, you know. Do I think he'll beat a Devin Haney? Probably not. But I think it's a good fight for Haney, no doubt. D-Style here says, AKHi be like, courts found Fury, find Fury guilty of egg weights. Video of him talking to another fan for 5 minutes. Yes, that's exactly what he did in his last video, you know?
Oh, shit.
That's exactly what he did, man. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show, Black and Brown, but go back and watch it, man. I just destroyed AKHi. And again, that coward, he'll never talk to anybody real, man. And that's so sad when you call yourself media. You call yourself new media, yet you don't want to speak to anybody that has a difference of opinion. Like, that's just crazy to me. You know, that's absolutely crazy. And Kano, I want to touch on what you said. Haney did put himself in position for that belt that he has. I'll give him that. But man, he's got it. We got to get him in there with somebody at this point. And I think that Haney versus Fortuna, perfect fight for him to step up, or Linares, you know. And I think
like Linares. I like the Linares fight. The Linares
is, yeah, it's a more competitive fight. I think. I still think he beats Linares, but I think it's a very good fight. Linares still has a lot of speed. He's a good boxer. I think it's a good fight, man. What do you think about Linares versus Haney, man? Kano?
Man, like I said, I believe, you know, Haney's got all the boxing skills in the world to beat both Fortuna and Linares. I think Linares will actually be a tougher fight because Fortuna throws these looping shots that, man, you know, with a boxer like Haney, he's gonna throw them straight shots and keep him off. You know, I don't think he's gonna give him as much trouble as people think. Whereas Linares actually can box back. You know, so I think Linares will be a tougher fight.
I agree.
I got not to cut you off, Funky, but I got a chance to see Linares fight live, his last fight, and I was at the weigh-in the day before. And man, Linares, for being an older man, you could tell he ain't no joke, man. He is no joke. He's a professional boxer. He is not about no game playing. The day of the weigh-ins, he had the vibe around him and his team was "do not approach me" vibe. Everybody else was taking pictures, greeting the fans. Linares is in the corner by himself. Do not approach me. Nobody approached him. So I just think Linares got this vibe around him where he's not going out easy. And any young man that wants to come and try to beat him, they better pack a lunch.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to him versus Garcia because that was the undercard of the Fonseca Garcia fight, right? That you were at.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. It was a great night, man.
Yeah, that fight was supposed to be signed and everything. I remember De La Hoya came in the ring after and said, "Yeah, we've already booked the venue for July. You know, we want Linares versus Garcia. You know," and I was really looking forward to that because again, he would have tested that young kid in Ryan Garcia. It would have been a really good step up fight for him. I mean, I think that would be a little bit more tougher fight than Campbell. But he's got Campbell, and I think it's still a good fight. We're still going to find out some things about Ryan Garcia. Campbell will let us know some things about Garcia. Can we all agree on that?
Agree.
Definitely.
And just to touch up on something else, man. I'm leaning towards Luke Campbell, but I'm really hoping Ryan does win because we need these youngsters to face each other here in the future, man. I just oh man,
absolutely.
I don't want something to ruin that.
D-Style, man. Kano says he's worried because you're picking Gamble, bro. I don't know if there's a jinx going on or something, man.
Nah,
but,
man, because I'm leaning toward I'm leaning towards Campbell too, and to hear that these styles is leaning that way too, that makes me uncomfortable, man.
Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, I'm rolling with Garcia in that one. I just think his hand speed and power is going to be too much for Campbell. You know, and every time Campbell has stepped up to the plate, he's come up short. You know, now again, he's a gold medalist. You know, you don't really expect that from gold medalists, but as a professional, his first time he stepped up against Linares, he got beat. The second time he got an opportunity at somebody was Lomachenko. He got beat. Not saying that Garcia is as good as those guys, but I just think the hand speed is really going to give him issues, man. I really do.
Yeah,
I heard they were trying to move it to Cancun or so. I don't know if it was Cancun, but they're trying to move the fight into Mexico somewhere.
Yeah.
I was going to try to look and see how much round trip tickets were, man, because flights are really cheap right now. So
I know
it might be cheap, man. It might be cheap to go over there and catch and fight.
Yeah, Black and Brown. Well, I got you here, man. Are you ready for Jones Tyson Saturday night, man?
Oh man, I'm ready for Blake the Beast versus Badu Jack, man. That's the only fight on that card I care about. That's the only fight I care about on that card.
Man, I'll be rooting for him, no doubt, man. I'll be rooting for the Beast, but I just think he's too green, man. But I'll be rooting for him, man, for sure. Badu Jack
he's a barroom baller. He's a barroom brawler, G Funky.
Yes, and you might catch Jack with something crazy. You never know, man. Jack is not the same guy he was, a few years back. That's for sure. He's had some letdowns in his career. I was thinking they were pushing him like he was going to be the next guy, and it just never worked out, What about Jacobs Rosado, man? Are you guys ready for that one?
I'll let Kano go first on that one.
I actually am ready for that, man. I know a lot of people crucifying Jacobs for taking this fight, man. But listen, man, I'm in a group with some of the Mayweather gym people, man, and they got the group call all call outs are mandatory, and we speak about that stuff in there. And Rosado and him just kept going back and forth, all that hot beef they got going on, man. Jacobs took this fight mainly to try and shut Rosado up. So I'm not mad about the fight, because I understand what's going on in the back.
Yeah, I think, well, actually, I've already pretty much given my thoughts on ATP, but Black and Brown, you go ahead, man.
Man, I agree 100% with what Kano said. I love the grudge, man. I love just the animosity these two dudes have. I'm a huge Danny Jacobs fan. I love the way he carries himself. I love the way he calls out these fighters. He got right in Jermell Charlo's face. He gets right in Rosario's face. He went 12 tough rounds with Triple G, 12 rounds with Canelo. Never hit the mat once. I got so much respect for Danny Jacobs. I'm rooting for him, and I already know it's going to be a hell of a fight. I already know it's going to be a great fight. So I love the fight, man. I'm a huge Danny Jacobs fan, and I hope this fight sets him up for another title shot at 68. Billy Joe Saunders. I'd rather Danny Jacobs be sitting with that belt at 68 than Billy Joe Saunders. So I hope he gets this fight next.
That's a great point because Billy Joe ain't about no fucking smoke, man. He had a chance to fight Canelo, and he did everything possible he could to not take it. And I got a lot of heat for saying that that's a good fight. And, I still do think it's a good fight because I think that Billy Joe's style is a style that has given Canelo trouble in the past, I mean, I think Canelo beats him, but I would like to see Canelo in there with a guy, a southpaw that can move around the ring. That's difficult for anybody. It's just not Canelo, but that's difficult for anybody, But I do think that the first 3 to 4 rounds are going to be really good with Jacobs Rosado. I think Rosado knows that it's like, and I said this on ACP, I think he knows that he's to the point in his career now where if he's ever going to get an opportunity to fight on, like he's fighting on a big platform in the zone, if he's ever going to get an opportunity like this again, he's going to have to either win the fight or at least put up a hell of a fight while losing, And I think Rosado's the type of dude who's not afraid to go out there and go for it. You know, we see it often where guys who are on their last leg, they know it. They go out there and they lay a fucking egg, and then we never see him again. You know, I don't think that that's the type of guy Rosado is, man. I think he understands it. I think he's going to go for it, man. I really do. So I think it's going to be entertaining, but I'm going to take Jacobs, man. I like Danny Jacobs as a fighter. There are some things that I don't like about his style. Like, I just don't think he sits down on his punches all the time. He slaps a lot. But he is tough, like you said, Black and Brown. He was in there with Triple G, Canelo. You know, he's been in there with some guys, man. Derevyanchenko, you know, he's fought some guys, man, and he's never been knocked out, never been hurt, and he's fought cancer, man. He fought off cancer, you know, like that. That's something right there. That's something better than anything he'll ever accomplish in the sport of boxing, you know. So he's a tough guy, and I love the story, and I think he's going to get the job done Friday. But I do think it's going to be an entertaining little scrap, man, for sure.
No, I'm picking Jacobs as well, but Rosado is going to make it a fight. He's one of those fighters that comes. He's going to be ready to fight, so he's just going to come up short, though.
Yeah, would that be something if he wins, man? That would be something. But to touch on what Black and Brown had to say, dude, you're absolutely right. Let's get that belt off of Billy Joe Saunders, man, because he ain't doing jack shit with it. You know what I'm saying? D-Style is in the house. What's up, man?
Well, first of all, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you sound like you're on you sound like you're on a CB radio, but we can hear you. No.
All right. Oh, for real? No, but can you hear me for real or?
No, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hey, I know I forgot to change that name too. But that's when I went to Blood Channel. But hey, I think Fortuna is a good opponent for Haney, man. Haney needs like a fighter like that in his resume, like really, really bad and really, really soon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I just don't see how anyone could disagree with that. Just my opinion, but you know, obviously Fortuna is available. Haney's available. Let's do it. I mean, I just don't see why that's something that cannot be done. You know, other than a bigger fight popping up, obviously. But you know, I think that's a good fight, man. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Don't go away, D-Styles. I just want to get your take on this Luke Campbell Ryan Garcia fight, man. Come on.
Go ahead and let us know what you think, man. As far as I remember, you're picking Campbell, right? D-Style?
I mean, I'm kind of leaning Ryan Garcia now. However, I've always said, I don't know how Ryan's going to react when he's in the trenches, when a fighter's in there pushing him, and that realization's going to come when he's sitting in that corner and he's asking himself, do I need this? Because Luke Campbell wants it, right? So Ryan's going to sit there and ask himself, I need to grind this out. Do I want to do this? Do I want to be a fighter? Because, hey, you look good hitting mitts. You know, you look good hitting, you know, celebrities, the protection on the body and all that and all that good stuff. You know, you look good hitting the double end bag. Hey, you know, but how when someone's grinding it out, even in rounds, but it's round 7 in the corner, and you're yourself, I make a living just doing YouTube videos. I hang around with celebrities. I could just do that. Or I could be a model. I could do all this shit. Like, I don't need to be here getting punched in the face. You know, and now it is, nobody knows how Ryan's gonna respond in that situation. And that's one thing. The second thing is, look, man, the chin's in the air, and that's just the problem for me, you know.
Yes,
it's he has a chin in the air, and he get clipped by somebody, man. And how is he going to react? Like I have questions about the kid. You know, I like to say, I don't know how he's going to take a clean punch. Well, I don't know how Ryan Garcia is going to take a clean punch, especially him. So there's I have more questions than answers going into this fight, which is why the fight, I was saying the same things about Ryan, like I'm saying now about Haney. Before this fight, I said, "Hey, I want to see him tested." You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes.
I want to deal with adversity. I want to put a stick in his face, meaning the jab, right? And I want him to find a way to work around it. I want to see Ryan Garcia make an adjustment in a fight. That's when you start to know whether these guys are made to the next level, when they're forced to make adjustments. That's the one big thing. That's the only thing I'm looking for, right? I don't punish guys for dealing with adversity when they overcome the adversity, because everyone's going to have that, right?
Yep.
That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? To give you a quick example, Tank Davis showed me a lot in the Leo Santa Cruz fight, because Leo was on him early, right? And he was even throwing combinations while he was getting hit. And there was times where he hit Leo, and Leo would come back and hit him back and piece him up. What did Tank do? He kept grinding, right? Then he made an adjustment. And then later on, it just, in the middle of the fight, knocked him out. Those are the type of things I need to see the fighters do. And no.
You cut out. Can I respond when he's done?
Yeah, D-Style, I don't know if it's your internet or what, man, but
I was trying to share that picture. Can you see it at all?
Can you hear us? Oh, picture here? Let's see. Oh, there we go, yeah. Yes.
That looks about right.
There's no denying that. That chin needs to be tucked.
Can I respond to D-Style a little bit now? I'm going to try to respond to D-Style. So D-Style brought up a few good points about Ryan Garcia. So one fight, D-Style, that we can look at and go back to, and I know we can't compare this fighter to Luke Campbell, but Jason Velez pushed Ryan Garcia to the limit at 19. So about 3 years ago, when Ryan was only 19, Jason Velez pushed him to the limit, and we know Jason Velez is all chin and heart. Jason Velez is a good little fighter, still to this day, will push you to your limit. I'm not comparing him to Luke Campbell. I'm just saying we have seen Ryan Garcia have to dig down deep. Now, my second part is I do agree with you that when it starts getting tough for Ryan Garcia, is he going to check out? I don't think Luke Campbell is that fighter. I think Teofimo is that fighter to make Ryan Garcia maybe think about checking out. I just don't see Luke Campbell being that fighter. That's all I got to say to D-Styles' comments. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Velez was a guy who just, he put up a really good fight against Valdez in Valdez's last fight.
Exactly.
That's the same guy, right? Yeah. So,
same dude.
Yeah, he's a tough kid, man. And Valdez, again, he had to go back to his old ways to get him out of there, So credit to him. But yeah, I agree with what D-Style said, that I love when these young fighters step up in competition, because that's the only way we know if they're legit or not, And that's really my only issue with Devin Haney. Yes, he looks good. Yes, he can box very, very well. He's got fast hands. He's shown good defense to this point, but it hasn't been against anybody to test him yet, And once we get there, once we get to that point and we see him in there with somebody that can test him and push him to the limit, then I'm willing to jump on the train at that point, But it just hasn't happened yet. I just got to be brutally honest about it. If he gets in there with a Fortuna, and he does some things in there, then, I'll start to lean more that way. Linares, I think if he gets Linares out of there in dramatic fashion, or at least if he shoots a shutout the way he did against Gamboa, then definitely. But these fights,
you got to knock Linares out. Come on.
I agree, but I was thinking the same thing.
Knocks out Linares.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with Gamboa too, but that just didn't happen, So I don't know if he'll be able to knock out Linares. He might be able to beat him on points, but I don't know if he'll be able to knock him out. We'll see. What do you guys think? You think he can stop Linares?
Yeah, we're talking about Haney. Why?
Haney, yeah, Devin Haney.
Yeah, and let me tell you why. So Linares, he doesn't, look, he's lost in multiple ways. They're all by stoppage, but it's either an early knockout or, like an accumulation of shots. Yeah, he runs out of gas. He's really like. But you got to understand when Linares was undefeated, I sounded like a lot of the Haney guys sound. I was calling him all these guys the future pound for pound. He's the goods, and just look at that jab. He's athletic. He's great combinations, amazing footwork. I mean, he looked the part, and he does until he doesn't. Until somebody catches him clean. Until his face starts to fall apart. Until he runs out of gas after 8-9 rounds. So yeah, I do think Haney would stop him probably late.
I remember the things that HBO were saying. The first time I seen Linares on a big card was when he fought DeMarco. That was on a pay-per-view. I can't remember the pay-per-view, the main event, but I remember hearing the guys on the HBO commentary saying that this guy could be the greatest, because he's so skilled. And then he was looking good early, and then look what happened late. DeMarco came back.
He was piecing for the first 4 rounds. Man, he was making DeMarco look amateurish, right?
He was looking
punches
great
together. He was like check hooks. So he was popping the jab. He was smiling at DeMarco. Like, man, he's humiliating him. And then then the round started getting closer and closer. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck happened to this dude's stamina? It's gone. And then his face is falling apart. And you know what I mean? Like, those are just things that we don't know until these guys are tested. You just don't know what these guys are made of until they're tested. Look, if there's a big if Linares had a rock solid chin and better stamina, he'd probably still be undefeated right now, right? But he doesn't. So that's just the reality,
Yeah, I agree.
I got Haney. I got Haney stopping Linares late as well. I think we see a different Haney in that fight. This fight was Haney's comeback fight off of shoulder surgery. I think he was out the ring maybe exactly a year. So we didn't see the best Haney that was available. I think we'll see a better Haney moving into the future, and especially against Linares. Haney versus Linares, you're gonna see a prime Devin Haney. So yeah, I got Haney stopping him late, getting him out of there.
Cano Loco, what do you think, man? Does he get the job done this time?
Listen, when I go into a Devin Haney fight, I'm real consistent on this. I don't go into it looking for a knockout. I don't expect knockouts from Haney. He's more of a boxer, in my opinion, and that's what I expect out of him. Now, if he gets a late stoppage, that's just bonus. But he's a boxer.
No doubt. I mean, there was no doubt about that going into the Gamboa fight for me. I mean, I knew he was going to outbox him, no doubt. The thing with Gamboa was, again, he had been down so many times, 17 times, been stopped multiple times, was stopped in his last fight, and he's coming off of an injury in Achilles, which is an injury that you don't come back the same, especially at 38 years old, so it was set up, man. The dinner table was set up for him to stop this guy, and it just didn't happen. So I don't know, man. I have to go off the history, man. I don't know if he stops Linares. I think he beats him, though, definitely. I don't know if he stops him, though, man. Even though, again, we know that Linares is a guy who's been stopped multiple times and dropped multiple times. I mean, the same can be said about Gamboa, and it didn't happen. So, but he did beat him every round. That did happen. So, but I think that Linares at this point of his career is much better than a Gamboa. And I think that he will give Haney some trouble in there, man, with his speed and his boxing ability. But I would still favor Devin Haney, just a younger, fresher guy at this point, Okay, Santeo, thank you for that, man. You always say I'm the one that can remember the old stuff, man. But look at you, man. So Linares DeMarco was on the undercard of B-Hop Chad Dawson. The first one, when B-Hop pretended like his shoulder was injured. That was amazing to me, man.
Don't even remind me of that shit, bro.
Oh my God, I was so mad when that happened. Like he's going like this to putting his shoulder to make it seem like there's something popping out or something. Like.
Did you remember when B-Hop was saying that Joe Smith pushed him out of the ring? Like he's like, he pushed me out of the ring, man. Like B-Hop, we got video footage, bro. Like stop, bro.
Dude, I remember the top angle, the top camera when that happened. when he hit him and he fell through the ropes down on the ground, it looked like he fell into like a dark black pit. Like his whole body just disappeared. That was hilarious, man. But oh man, this is let's see. Andrew Charles here says gonna watch Ryan versus Velez. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fight we should go back and look at. If you're gonna make a, if you're gonna make a prediction video or something like that, great suggestion, Black and Brown. I like that, man. I'm gonna go back and review that fight for sure, man.
By the way,
Ryan's a baby. Ryan's only 19 in that fight. Ryan's only 19. He's a baby. You can tell he's. If you want to see that chin up in the air, go watch that fight.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna check on out of here, man. This is 2 nights in a row. Y'all got me in here past my bedtime. You know, I'm an old man that usually sleeps early, but I do enjoy it every time I do get a chance to join the panel. But I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart.
For sure.
No sweat, man. Thanks for joining us, Cano. That was Cano Loco. Make sure you guys subscribe to him if you're not subscribed to him, man. He does a lot of interviews with a lot of young up-and-coming fighters, and make sure you subscribe, man. You guys got anything else you want to talk about, man? While I got you guys here.
No. Hey, G Funky, thanks for having me. His fans causing panic. D style, I'm out.
There it is, Black and Brown. Again, man, make sure you subscribe to him. He talks boxing here on YouTube, and he's from my hometown, so make sure you subscribe to him. D-Style, man, how was your dinner, man? Did you enjoy your dinner?
It was all right. I mean, it was a weird day, I'll say that, but enjoyed watching the Cowboys get their ass whooped. You know what I mean? I see why you're ignoring the Cowboys this year. Makes sense. But
hey, man, I've seen worse. Trust me. I mean, I know we got a lot of injuries, and that's part of the game. I mean, you starting quarterbacks out. Oh, believe me, I've seen worse because we've had teams where it looked like we were going to do something, and then we just fall flat. There's no injuries, no major injuries, nothing, and we look flat. This year, I mean, look, our starting quarterback is out. We got a lot of guys on defense. One of our best offensive linemen is out. So, I mean, it happens. It happens.
Oh well.
But
don't draft another wide receiver in the first round. Okay, I think you have enough of that.
Well, I mean, you can't pass up a guy like Lamb. That's kind of hard to do, especially when the defense was supposed to be good this year. Like that was the thing. They were saying that the defense was supposed to be legit. We got a new defensive coordinator. So, I mean, I understand why they did it, but the defense just didn't show up. They just didn't show up.
They already had a good receiver core. You didn't need to get Lamb first round, but that's not here nor there. But aside from that, all right. It wasn't the worst pick ever, but Look, man, I want to remind everybody about Hispanics causing panic. I think everyone is aware of Lascano, right? Who was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, went to Bowie High School here, right? And he trained and fought and lived out of Sacramento, California, right? That's a 915 and a 916. Right, so that's where the name of the show comes from, Hispanic Causing Panic. So you're from the 915 or the 916. You're an honorary HCP member, just letting you know.
That's right.
But I got to say that I don't I say happy Thanksgiving to people. It has nothing to do with, the whole Indians and pilgrims or any of that shit, because we all know the history of that. But it's just it's the family tradition. It's the meaning of it has been changed through my family tradition, and that's just being thankful for what you have and who you have in your life. But to be honest with you, I think that should be us every day, 365.
That's always been my argument.
Right? We don't need a day, right? We don't need a day to tell us to do those things. That's something we should be thankful for, and I'm thankful for a lot of people, So
yeah,
and I let them know through action more than anything. But nonetheless, it's a ceremonial day to say that. So thank you to everybody. What was that?
Yeah, no, I agree, man, that it's something that you should be thankful for everything that you got every day. You know, I know D Style is not a religious guy, but G Funk is. You know, I guess you know, for lack of better term, you know, I don't subscribe to a certain religion, but I do believe in God, and you know, I do give thanks to Him, you know, multiple times a day, because that's just the way I am, man. You know, and I choose not to do the Thanksgiving thing because, you know, like I said, I have a lot of Native American, you know, in my blood, man, and that's why you see me rocking the shirt. You know, I don't forget. You know, I know. You know, people always try to say, you know, well, it was so long ago, but you know, I just, you know, I don't think it's something that we should just sweep under the rug anymore, man. You know, my kids are gonna know the truth about what happened that day, and you know, people, they can make their decision from there. You know, you want to do it, you can do it. You don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. I just choose not to, man. Like, my heart won't let me do it because, you know, I've done the research on it, man, and it's pretty bad. You know, the things that happen, it's pretty bad. You know, but you know, people, they, you know, they make their own decisions, man, and that's, you know, I have enough problems in my life, you know, and I'm not going to be one of these guys that's just going to pound on someone's door to try to make them change their mind on it, you know? So that's my stance on it, man. But, yeah, it's,
Well,
go ahead, man.
well, I was gonna say, I mean, in the spirit of everything, right? Look, I think one of the hardest things to build on here, you know, is to build a community of ideas, and because everyone wants to be part of communities of narratives. You know what I mean? And there's a difference. There's a difference between exchanging ideas and getting together to push a narrative. Those are two different things, right? Two different objectives, two different ways of going about things.
Yeah.
HCP and the people we associate with, from the people that subscribe, from those of you that participate, no matter what religion, non-religion, what race, what creed, what ethnicity you are, I mean, you're welcome here. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's welcome here. All right. And everyone is encouraged. You're not just told you can, you are encouraged to give your ideas, to disagree, to, you know, give your arguments. And that is a community that I want to be part of, you know, and that's what I've always have wanted to be part of. And I think what a lot of people need to realize out there is that we're not here to be your mercenaries of hire. Okay. And I know there's a lot of people out there that want, like, oh, why don't you go after this guy and that guy? Like, you guys got to understand that we're not here to talk about, you know, other communities or anything like that. Like, they do what they do, we're going to do what we do, right? In essence, we're not really a community, more so than just a group of guys that talk boxing, that welcome everybody to talk boxing. If that's community, it's community. If it's not, it's not. You take it for what it is. I'm not going to play semantics with people, okay? You know, in this particular video, G Funky didn't sneak this. He didn't do any of that. He directly, okay, talked about who he talked about, you know, and I think the one thing people need to start doing is, if the uploader is talking about somebody specifically, then that's who he's talking about. He's not talking about other people. He's talking about the specific person that he's talking about. That is it. You know what I mean? So I just want to kind of let everybody, you know, understand that. Also, one more thing. Every Thursday we have a round table, right? And a lot of people show up and they say, hey, well, where's the link? You know, or like, shoot me the link or something like that. Well, that's not how it works. I mean, the people in the round table, you can ask G Funky's right here. Like, it's not like a on the fly thing. Like, the people on the round table, it's already determined like days before we do it, right?
Yes.
Yes. So like, we already have specific individuals that are going to come that are part of the Leave It in the Ring network, part of HCP, part of, you know, people that we associate with that are welcome to come, right? If anybody wants to join one of those panels, you need to contact me first, okay? And then you can join the panel. Now, while while it's not 100% a necessity, it is, we do need anybody that wants to join those panels to have a decent sound. Like, I'm not saying you have to have like a state-of-the-art, mic or anything, but you have to have good sound. Like, it just like that's important, right? Because it's going to go on Pandora and stuff like that. The quality of the sound has to be good, right? Also, you do have to show your face on camera, because that's going to show transparency and realness as far as us communicating, right? Now, that's not 100% like needed, but it is something that we push for. And if there's 7, 8 people in line or more than that, right, before you, and they're showing, they're going to come on camera to do it, then that's the way we're doing it. Just on that show, we have other shows that can censor, right? You come on, you don't have to have the best sound quality. You don't have to have your face on camera. You could come, you could chop some boxing up with us. You know what I mean? So it's just important for you guys to know that, okay? So that there's avenues for you guys to communicate with us, to be part of the experience, this exchange of ideas. You're not going to get cussed out. You're not going to get kicked out. You're not going to be censored in any way. As long as you stay, obviously, like, I have a thing called the adult rule, right? Like, if you act like an adult, right, you'll be okay, right? Yep. Now, obviously, if you come and you start acting like a child, and that's different. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if you're doing some dumb shit, of course you're going to get kicked out, right? But to this day, we haven't kicked anybody out, really. So, just come on here, let's talk some boxing, let's exchange these ideas. And that is that, man. Like, I know you had somebody in the chat earlier, G-Funky. I mean, wanted you to talk about, somebody else instead of AKHi. And it's just something I keep noticing. You know what I mean? Like, look, at the end of the day, like if you have an issue with a certain group, why don't you take it on with them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
You can do it yourself. Nobody's stopping you from.
You
already have a channel.
Upload a video for yourself.
Yeah. You already have it. You already have a channel. Start making videos yourself, like I just did right now.
It's not that difficult. Like, just understand that if he's talking about AKHi, that's what he's talking about. It's not that complicated. If I do a video about someone, right, I'm talking about that person, right? So that's just the way it is.
Exactly. And, tell AKHi I'm looking for him. Tell him HCP is looking for his ass. But we all know he's not.
It's not like he fucking came on here and he's like, I want to talk about this guy. He's going to go and name, but man, this guy, he had a video titled this and that. And like, we all know he's talking about AKHi and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And that's not what he's doing. Like, he's pretty straightforward on who he's talking about in the video. I'm going to be honest with you, fucking that title of that video, I never seen anyone do something that like outrageous. That's like over the top. You know what I mean?
Way over the top. Way over the top.
That's
man.
like, that's not like normal. That's not your typical like, oh, here we go. Like, that's not your typical shit. It's not your typical glove game video. It's not. Right? It's not your typical video that has like a question mark, right? like where it's like Fury found guilty with a question mark, and then it's still clickbait. Obviously, I don't approve of that, obviously, but it's not what AKHi did. What AKHi did is just a whole nother level. Okay, this is a whole nother level. Like, it really is. It's like people, and then he puts the Fox Sports logo on there to make it seem like he was on Fox Sports talking about it. Like, come on now, come on.
Fox Sports would never give this guy the time of day, with the nonsense that he puts out there. And this is pure.
Who else is doing that? I don't know anybody else that does that. Not even Dante does that. Come on.
Yeah, he's worse. He's worse than Dante at that. And like I said, at least I'll give Dante some credit because, he's invited people on his show. Like I said, he invited me. I still got the email where he invited me. I want this guy, and I said it. I'm not going on his platform because he's going to be able to control, what I can and can't say with this mute button and all that type of shit. Neutral platform, man. Let's get this thing on, man.
Now, let me tell you, G Funky, right? You had a disagreement with it with Kenny. His name is right.
Mm-hmm.
Did I have his name right? I
Yeah,
don't want to
Kenny.
get his name wrong. You know, this is a guy that works for ESPN Radio. We invited him on. He got to talk and everything for 30 minutes, right? That's who we invited to debate with us on a topic that we disagreed on. That's who we invited on to debate with us, right? A dude that works for ESPN Radio. That's who we invited. And he got to talk and everything. And to be honest with you, I think it was a great conversation. I had no issue, right?
Yep.
But as far as AKHi, come on, bro. I heard some of those so-called callers, okay? I honestly believe it was like his friends calling in and acting stupid is what I think. Because that's how dumb they sound, honestly. Like, oh, man, I don't know. I think that the whole thing is made up. I think that's not the original video. And I think they're using a brand new video that they doctored. They doctored that shit. And then the fucking AKHi's like, oh, really? You think that, that's fake, huh? Well, let me just prove you right now. You see how crazy these people are? They think that the video is doctored, everybody. No, the commission, the people that matter don't think it's doctored, okay? The commission doesn't think it's doctored. Okay, the Tyson Fury camp isn't saying it's doctored. HCP ain't saying it's doctored. Why don't you talk to some real motherfuckers, okay? Why don't you talk to me? Like all of these dudes, they ain't ready for me when I pull up. They're not ready for me when I pull up on Bloodboxing's channel. That's as neutral as it fucking gets. They ain't ready for me, right? So if you're ready, you're ready. Like if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. Honest to God, it's not beef at all. Actually, it's just I want to talk about it. Like, stop taking these fucking bogus ass calls and talk to some real motherfuckers. A lot of people, they don't want to have real conversations. They want to control the situation. They don't want to meet up in neutral grounds. That's just the reality of it, okay? And guess what? Oh, I don't trust Blood for whatever reason. Okay, well, you got EJ Boxing Live that hosted. He's a neutral guy. Why don't you let him do it, right? He's hosted plenty of debates. We could do it there. There's so many ways to go about it, right?
Yep.
But because, look, at the end of the day, I just want to have, what's up with those fucking titles? What's up with that fucking, why is the Fox Sports logo on there? Do these guys not realize that, if Fox Sports wanted to, they could sue AKHi? They could sue him for that. It's making it look like this is a Fox Sports headline. All right? Yep. That's some bogus ass shit. How do you get the goal? How does anyone possibly, bro, say shit like, oh, old media is fake? You got to listen to us because we're the truth. But you have headlines and fake advertisement like this. You have clickbait like this. How is that possible, bro? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then how can anyone possibly, look, there's an individual that doesn't want to talk to us, right? They don't even want to communicate with us, all right? Just all you got to do is, see, Funky, did you and Kenny have a big disagreement on Twitter?
Yes, we did. A huge disagreement,
right?
But he came on and spoke his piece. Yeah.
We let him talk, right?
Yep.
We let him talk. We didn't cut him off. We didn't yell at him. We didn't call him names. We didn't do any of that, right?
Nope.
So at the end of the day, there's ways to have these conversations. That is it. A lot of guys they don't want to have the conversation. They just don't.
Yeah.
So, hey.
And that's the thing, man. All you got to do is look at our history here on HCP since we've been doing our thing. We've even had, D-Style and I have even talked to a straight up troll from the comment section. We had the opportunity. He was on when we were live. I gave him the link. He came on. We gave him the opportunity to speak and uninterrupted. That's what I believe on my channel. Okay, this is my channel.
And you know what?
These are my rules, man.
Props to him because he actually came on.
Yes,
right?
He came on. I mean, he got destroyed. Don't get me wrong. He got destroyed, but he came on. We'll give him that. At least he's got the balls to come on and speak his mind. These guys, they are terrified of anybody that has a difference of opinion. Like, how can anybody respect that? Like, I mean, again, you go to Ego Boxing as a guy. You go to his channel. If you say one thing, oh, I disagree with what you're saying, Ego. Who is that? Block that motherfucker. Block him. Get him out of here. Never let him back in again. You know, like if that was the case, 92 AKU, who's here right now, would never be back here. He always disagrees with us. But look, he's still here because he knows we're real about our shit, man. Go ahead, bro.
Well, there was a time when the wrenches were they kept deleting, right? Like there was a show once where I noticed it was Joe Lopez 40 ounce who already had a wrench. He said something like, "Yo, well, why are you deleting his comments for a difference of opinion?" I remember that caught the corner of my eye while I was hosting the show, right? Mm-hmm. I think it was an aftermath show, and I look at the chat, right? Because in the StreamYard, I could see everybody's comments, but yeah, I have to go to the YouTube. I went to the YouTube and I saw like people were deleting 92 AKU's, comments, right? Like an opinion I disagreed with, by the way, but I said, nah, you can't be like deleting this guy's comments. What are you doing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I wrenched them up. That's why I remember. I said, hey, fucking, I'm gonna address the wrenches later, but right now I'm gonna give this guy a wrench. He's gonna have to deal with the difference of opinion. You know what I mean? Like there ain't no like oh well he's saying this and shit like that, right? Like oh look a Fury fan is on here. So I don't give a shit if you're like well, what does that even mean? Like what like there's obviously like every channel's different, right? So I believe everybody's YouTube channel like their own boxing gym. Like it's their rules. It's whatever they want. You know what I mean? Yep. Like I don't call the shots on G Funky's, chat. Like if G Funky wants to delete somebody's comment, he can do it. It's his channel, right? But when it comes to wrenches, just chill out a little bit,
Yep. We don't mind.
That's what I believe, man. I believe in free speech. Look, I'm not a fan of Alex Jones, but when YouTube took him down, right, and social media took him down, I did a video. Right, saying that they shouldn't have done that. Like that's not censoring is not the answer. Right?
Yep.
So even for people I completely disagree with, I will fight for their freedom of speech. Right? Now I'm not comparing 92 AQ to Alex Jones now. Okay? I just want to make sure people understand that. But I believe in exchange. Like, do you know why a lot of these channels dive through?
Oh, did we lose you? Are you there?
I'm surrounded by either yes men or they're just surrounded by supporters that encourage their behavior, right? And encourage the things they're saying, and they go unchecked. Then that's why they devolve into like talking about dumber and dumber shit. That's how it happens. Like that's why I've always told people that I want to be challenged. I don't want people to just come here and just agree with everything that I say. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Like people should welcome, a difference of opinion. They really should, and engage in that and have if your ideas are better, right? If you got the truth on your side, then what are you scared of, right?
Exactly.
Like if you know you're right, well, what are you so worried about,
Yep.
So and I can, tell you guys right now that the reason I flipped on the Margarito thing, right, is because I've evolved into more of a critical thinker when it comes to boxing than when I first started. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My processor in my head thinks differently now. Now, I think differently. I kind of look at things differently. I have more of a critical mind when I assess things than I did like 10 years ago when I believed that Margarito had bricks and plaster of Paris all over his raps and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, just keep that in mind, guys. That's all.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with getting something wrong. Like, look, we're human, man. Not everybody's perfect. You're gonna have you're gonna think something different one day, and then maybe something comes out, and then it's like, hey, you know, there's correction there. Let's deal with it accordingly then. You know, hey, I was wrong, flat out. You know, like I gave an example of it earlier when I talked about the rehydration clause with Canelo. There is no rehydration clause against Smith. So the excuse is out the window. Now, I heard the day before the Kovalev fight that there was one, but I stood corrected on that. Buddy McGirt said himself they would have never taken that fight if there was a rehydration clause. There was none. So I had no choice but to say, hey, I was wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, man. These guys think that it's the end of the world if they get something wrong, you know? And to touch back on, like you said, about having people come on, like the rule on my channel is this. I believe in order. That's the type of guy that I am. I believe in order. So if people come on and we have multiple people on, everybody gets their opportunity to speak uninterrupted, especially if we're having a debate or a discussion on something. And people, because that's the only way that people are going to hear the information. That's the only way that the information is going to get out there and the truth is going to get out there, is if people are heard. They have to be heard. I won't let people over talk or nothing like that. Everybody will get their equal time to speak uninterrupted, whether I like what they're saying or not. I'm going to let them speak uninterrupted, and I expect the same in return. If you can't respect the rules, then yeah, I'm going to get you out of here, flat out, you know. But if you could just be, like D-Style said, be an adult and just speak your mind without making personal attacks and things like that, then it's all good. You can come here. I doubt he'll bring his ass here, but you know, we'll see, man. Maybe this video will get to him. We'll see, man.
Well, whether it gets to him or not, I think it's more important that some of his supporters, or even, you know what, even his hate watchers, right? A lot of you guys, and don't lie, okay, you watch a lot of these channels and you hate watch them all day, okay? Like, don't lie. I know you do it because that's all in your mind whenever we're talking about a certain topic, and like, you guys just shoot like names out, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, I haven't thought about that guy in a week, but like they keep bringing, like, whatever it is, right? You bring up Glovegate, man, they'll drop names from certain channels, and it's like whatever to me, right? But look, instead of hate watching channels, like if you hate them so much, honestly, right? Now keep in mind, we're YouTube commentators, right? So we look at things, and they're like if I'm looking for information on Glovegate, let me show you how this works, okay? If I'm looking at information about Glovegate, right, I need to know what the people pushing Glovegate are saying in order for me to, one, look into it. What if they're right about something? That's number one. Or two, if I'm going to debunk it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I'm going to, like, have an opinion on their opinion, then I do need to, and because it's a relevant topic, like Glovegate. I'm not going to come on here and just say that people are saying things that they're not saying. So in order for me to accurately assess what someone's saying about Glovegate, I need to watch the Glovegate videos, all right? So, like, I just need to make sure people understand that before somebody comes on here, like oh, you're just if you don't like them, why are you watching them? And like you watch them all the time, but like that's why. Well, obviously, I need to watch I need to watch their videos. Like, I need to watch Dante's Boxing Nation make an argument that the wrap should be covering the entire wrist, right? Or not the palm. I'm sorry.
The palm
right?
is what he said. Yeah.
Right. I need to watch it for myself to make sure that he did say that, rather than just take somebody's word for it. You know what I mean? So like that's why I watch it. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that all they do all day is hate watch these channels and go to other people's channels and just vent about them all day, right? Like,
Yeah.
why do you guys support channels that are fair and talk boxing, and why don't you also do that? Well, give your time to that as well. And many of you do, and I appreciate it. Okay, the views for the roundtable ATP have been great lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think, like, start giving some of your time to some positive shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like watch some people that do watch boxing and do cover it the way you like. You know, like, I just think people need to just stay away from a certain energy, right? And start thinking more like at least half of it make it positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree 100%. You know,
It could become toxic, bro. It could become toxic when you do that, you know? Because then, like, are you about, like, nobody could say, oh, HCP, they talk about other people. Like I think this is the one, maybe second video of hundreds of videos that G-Funk has made that is calling, like, a specific person out. Like, he's not doing a video about AKHi every day for the last year. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like, if G-Funky was doing video, and I'll say it in front of G-Funky, okay? If G-Funky was doing a video about AKHi and Dante's Boxing Nation every day for the last 2 years, okay, he wouldn't be on HCP. He wouldn't be on my panels. He wouldn't be on with us talking boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be like, well, bro, you're not about boxing. You're about, you know, going after AKHi. Like, your channel is a key. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So that's, you know, I need to make sure people understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this guy.
I still believe most of your content should be your exclusive content. I don't mean exclusive the way some of these dudes do it, right? What I mean by that is your mind, your head, your assessment, not your response to other people's assessments. You know what I mean? I've said that for years. You know what I mean? And I remain consistent about that. Now, we can't avoid responding to other people, right? That's going to happen. Like, sometimes something's going to be so egregious, you just have to say something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this
case. It's going to be an elephant in the room sometimes. Exactly. Yeah. Right?
Like this case here. This Go ahead.
Yes, that is a clickbait. I mean, just think about this, G-Funky. This video is so bad, I don't think anybody should be for it. Obviously not. We don't believe in Glovegate, so obviously we wouldn't be for it, right? That's easy to say. But even if you in your heart believe for whatever, let's say you still believe you're a cheater, right? You should not be supporting these types of headlines and this type of misleading shit, right? Because all you're doing is crying wolf all day. And I don't need to tell everybody about the story that cried wolf, right?
I don't think so.
What if AKHi, like, can we believe anything AKHi says now? Like, do people not understand that if a witness is a proven liar in court, they will disregard everything they said? Right?
Yeah.
That's just the thing. Like if you're a known liar, then nobody could trust your word. And nobody could trust what you're saying. Like, you put a headline out, we don't even know what's the truth anymore. Right? So nobody should be for this headline. Everybody should be saying, okay, that is, and I'll give some credit. Look, some people that believe in Glovegate even came out and even called out Dante about that white bag, right? They may have done it for different reasons, right? They were saying it's a distraction or something like that. But at the very least, they called it out, right? AKHi, I mean, this is just a whole nother level, guys. I'm just saying, right? It's just a whole nother level, right? And that's all I got to say about that.
Right. I mean, the title literally made it seem like the lawsuit went through behind everyone's back. Nobody knew it, but he knew it, and he released the.
Can I say something about Pheno boxing really quick?
Go ahead.
Because Pheno, hey, like, watch some Pheno boxing, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, watch some of that. You know, like, you'll be all right. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, look. We know what she's doing, and it's working, and I ain't gonna hate. You know what I mean? Like when people are like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like, stop talking about how hot she is. Like, come on. We know what she's doing. I ain't saying she's bad at it, but I know what she's doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all. And then now I'm gonna get this video taken down by YouTube, probably. I don't know.
Well, here's what I say, man. That video that this guy released, just, I mean, one of the worst clickbaits I've ever seen, and I had to say something about it, man. Now, I won't even mention this guy's name ever again, unless he's willing to speak to me on a neutral platform. Other than that, you won't hear AKHi's name on HCP ever again, unless this guy builds up the courage to talk to somebody with a different opinion for once, and somebody that actually knows some shit. You know, like not these whack ass callers that call your show that don't know a fucking thing about anything, you know. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the guy in the audio that I played earlier. I don't know if if it was somebody that he knew or what. You know, he just said, hey, call in and act like you know some shit about the situation or not. If he was just some casual guy, then hey, he's just a casual. He doesn't know. You know, but why not talk to some people that know? Like that to me that just shows that you're afraid and that you have coward characteristics. You know, that's just the way that I see it.
Look, I'm a firm believer in going after the root of an issue, right? Because if you take out the root, right, you kill the plant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a firm believer going right at the root. So for a while, G-Funky and I would literally be minding our own business, whether it's on somebody else's platform, on our own platforms, right? And people just kept egging it on, like, oh, Glovegate. How can you guys not believe Glovegate? He cheated. You know he cheated. If you don't see that he cheated, you're blind. You're a fool. You're stupid if you don't see it, right? So we got to hear this over and over and over, right? And what was I doing? I was chopping out the weeds, you know, like boom, chopping out the weeds. But what happens if you don't go to the root?
They'll come back.
You know what I mean? They're gonna keep coming back and coming back and coming back. So you know what I did when it comes to Glovegate? I went straight to the fucking root and I fucking pulled that sucker out. That's what I did. Right? Now there's more roots, but some of you just gotta let shit die. Like some of you just need to learn that it's gonna be times when we're just gonna have to agree to disagree, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, because one, you're not winning the battle. Like you're not winning the arguments, especially not in neutral grounds. You're not winning, right? You're just not. Okay. If anything, I don't even like. I mean, it's not even a debate. Sometimes it's almost like classes in session, right? Especially the 2 times I went on, you know, on Blood Boxing's channel, you know. But at the end of the day, like you know, like right now, G-Funky's going at the root. He's going right at AKHi, right? He's going right to AKHi saying, what's up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the little foot soldiers and all that, we don't want to hear from you. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear from you. You got nothing to say. A lot of you guys don't even have any videos, and we don't even know if you're the person on that avatar. We don't know who you are, right? Some of you, we don't even know your voice, some of you. Some of you just commenters on YouTube. Right, we're talking directly to the source, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what G-Funky did. He went straight to the source. He went straight to the root, right?
Yep.
And he's pulling that sucker out, along with all of you. And if the root wants to give an argument, no, don't pull me out. I got a good argument. No. It's not a misleading headline. Like, Wilder did win the case. Look, here are the court documents. This is the date that the court date happened, right? Then he's more than welcome to do it, right?
Yeah.
Then he's more than welcome to try it. I'm saying.
And the funny thing is, again, nothing even close to court documents or anything was in that video. Literally nothing to do with any kind of claims or court case or nothing, you know. And to answer your question there, 92 Akio, yes, I have spoke to people about it in real life. Like I said, I know 2 people that work for the commission here in California, so yes, it has been a conversation for me. I mean, I don't know about D-Style, but for me, it certainly has. And
honestly, bro, like the Glovegate thing is not taken serious anywhere outside of the YouTube bubble. Honestly,
mm-hmm. Yep.
Like I don't even think some dudes even realize how ridiculous Glovegate is, and like I've lost. I mean, this is crazy, but I've lost friends because of this on YouTube, right? Let's call them acquaintances, right? I've lost acquaintances. I've lost subs. I've lost a lot. Like, but it's whatever. Like I'm gonna speak my truth. You know what I mean? I'm gonna speak my mind. I don't give a shit what anybody says. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Because in the long run, being honest and giving a fair take matters. You know what I mean?
It does. In the long run.
your reputation, like your word, your your honor. Shouldn't we as men have honor? Like does anybody believe in that or what? Like my
Doesn't
word, I have honor in my word.
it doesn't seem like it these days, man. That's for sure. And with guys again putting out clickbait material like this, man, it's really sickening. And quite honestly, it's kind of sad, and believe me, guys, if there's ever an opportunity that I can actually speak to this guy on a neutral platform, like I'll tell him the same thing. Like, bro, like this is really sad of you to do this, to put something out there like this. Like it really does look bad on your end. And then you watch the video and it literally talks nothing about any court case or nothing. It's just him talking to some casual boxing fan about Tyson Fury's gloves. Like, how did he
can't
win the
stand
case?
Like here's the thing, man. Like I think people need to look up the word assertion, right?
Yeah.
People make a lot of assertions when they talk about Glovegate, and like they'll say things like, "Well, the knuckles are there. Don't you see the knuckles? Or are you blind?" Like we've gone over this. Like we've explained almost everything. Just about everything's been explained, but. You can ask questions, but you need to listen to the answers, right? I'm all for asking questions, right? But if you're just looking for the answers you like, right? Then what does that even mean? I mean, just think about how, let me just go over this really quick, how it all kind of evolved, okay? No one was saying anything about the gloves until Wilder lost. Okay, that's number one, all right?
Yep.
Wilder lost, and then there was an issue with the gloves, right? No one was saying anything about Fury's past and the Hammer fight, and he tested positive against Vladimir Klitschko. None of that until Wilder lost. All those things were true before Wilder lost. Why did it become an issue after Wilder lost? That's number one. Second, right? I don't know if you remember this, you funky, but like literally like the next 48 hours or so, the first Glovegate video went viral on YouTube, right? And people were like, "Oh my God, the flappy glove." The guy was saying that there was a bag in the glove and shit like that, right?
There's bags in there.
Right. Yeah. And then I remember like saying, like I was in, obviously, like someone had already exposed this, but I noticed it myself as well. And I said, first of all, that's the first fight. It's not even the second fight. Yep. So, like, they were saying he only beat Wilder because he had the floppy glove. And then what happened?
It was the first fight.
It was from the first fight, right? That floppy glove was from the first fight. Almost all the footage they show you is from the first fight. So how does that prove? That's why he beat Wilder when that was a draw, that first fight. Right?
Yep.
So now let's go forward, right? Oh, well, but it looked floppy though, and look, no one caught it in real time. Nobody. Okay? It wasn't until someone. That's why nobody was talking about it. Okay, after the first fight, no one. We had hundreds of post-fight videos. We even had people on here saying that Wilder won the fight and everything. Okay, that they watched it in slow motion and everything. They never said anything until this happened. That's number one. I mean, that should tell you everything, all right? But then they wanted to keep going with the floppy glove, right? Well, if you watch other fights in slow motion, because no one ever paid attention to a hook like that in slow motion till this video went viral. But if you look at other fights in slow motion, you showed the Canelo one. There's a Haney one. Right, a lot of guys throw the hook like that, and the glove looks floppy. All right, I mean that's just how it looks when you throw a punch that way, right? Oh, but what about the tape, G Funky? What about the tape on the arm? Look, I'm not gonna give everything away to everybody. I'm not gonna give everything away. There's a reason we withhold information on purpose. Okay, so if you want to say that no, how can the tape look like that? And Oh, we got something for you. I just want to let you know. We got something for you when it comes to that. And you'll be very surprised on who it is, too. Right?
Oh, yes.
So, like, and we're not even saying we're going to unleash it, or we're just saying keep pushing, keep leaving your little fucking comments and being fucking smartasses and shit. Just keep doing it, right? So we already got some. You'll be really surprised who it is, okay? That you could see the tape and it's like 3 inches and everything, okay? You'll be really surprised, okay? Should I give him a hint or not?
No, we're gonna keep this thing
No, I'm not gonna give it
on
a hint.
ice. Yeah, we're gonna keep this thing on
One
ice
hint.
because
One hint. It's an active professional fighter. How about that?
There you
Right?
go.
That's my one hint. He's an active professional fighter. And you'll be really surprised on who it is. All right? So stop saying things that, oh, it's impossible for the tape to be like that. Stop saying things like, oh, it's impossible for a glove to, look like that. Now, Street Funky's already shown it, but I literally have a side-by-side photo of Haney and Fury's glove looking exactly the same and landing exactly the same. All right? So like, I could do all this shit, sure, now that you brought it up, but if you say, I never seen it do that before, and then I show you that it has done that before, and then you decide to literally move the goalpost, and you keep moving the goalpost, what does that tell you? Because let me tell you, G Funky, I kept telling people that the damage was done with the right hand, and they kept telling me, right? They kept telling me that no, it was a left hand, it was a floppy glove because he had his hand in the wrist area to make damage and this and that. And what happened? Some photos came out, right, with the lighting and the glove being pressed against the bicep and the arm of like a split second, right? It looks like you could see the quote unquote knuckles of Fury, but if you look closely in the photo, bro, it looks like it's his actual hand. But we know that his hands were wrapped, and we know that the knuckles are covered by wrap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these are things that we know. So why would it look like, you know what I mean? And then like literally the next frame, you can literally see the padding. Okay,
Yeah,
now we've gone over this over and over. Literally the next frame. Oh, but look, in other photos, it looks incaved. So is there no padding where you can see the knuckles, or is it incaved, or is the padding incaved? Right?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Is it 8
Like,
weight?
it can be both, but the incaved. I show people the pictures of hey, I guess Mayweather cheated against Castillo. His glove looked incaved in the fight with Castillo. I guess he cheated then. I have other photos of other fighters. All right, we're not going to give you all the names or anything, but we have other photos where you can quote unquote see knuckles, quote unquote it's incaved.
Yep.
And the reason we're not going out of our way to do this because we're not one of those channels that's like, ooh, look, Haney is cheating. Like, that's not us, right? So we're not going to label Haney a cheater, okay, just to get back at some people calling Fury a cheater. That's not us. You know what I mean?
Right. Because we're not Fury fanboys, that's why we're not out here to defend Fury.
Yeah, we don't want to release all the footage we have and shit like that. We don't want to put that out there because then we're kind of playing the same game. But like, if you force our hand, then we'll do what we got to do. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, we'll do what we got to do. Like it's just the way it is. But stop saying things like the glove can't bend back like that. Stop saying things like they can bend back like that. That we have gloves bending back like that.
Yeah.
All right, we do. So like if you keep having to move the goalposts, who do you think's wrong? If you can't get the conspiracy together.
Hold on 1 second. No, Paul, check the Discord, bro. The link is in the Discord, man. You can hop on if you want to.
Yo, but you fucking. I want to thank you for having me on, brother. But I just realized I'm running late for some. But
I don't want to hold you up, man.
Yeah. My bad. All right, man.
Ah, it's all good, man. You know, do what you got to do, brother. I appreciate you coming on. You know, you're always welcome anytime,
Peace.
man. HCP, man. We're the home of the truth, man. The home of real boxing talk. I'm gonna give it a few minutes to see if mi carnal No Paul wants to come on. If not, then I'll go ahead and move on and end this live stream. I've been on for almost 3 hours now. I got a lot of time today, which is why I'm on. You know, okay, he's here. Let's get him on. Hey, carnal, what's up? You're on mute, bro. Can't hear you, bro. You're on mute. There you go. What's up?
I think I got that Taco Bell Wi-Fi. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now. No, you were on mute. You're just on mute, man.
Wait up. Let me put it on mute for a little bit, and then let me see if it gets better over here.
Oh boy. Taco Bell Wi-Fi. I told you, man, you got to go to Starbucks, bro. Starbucks got better Wi-Fi. You get yourself some cafecito, you know, and good Wi-Fi, you know.
I'll put the mic down for a little bit. Let me do something right here. I'll be right on.
Got you, man. But look, man, here's the thing. This is going to be the only time that I mention AKHi on this channel, unless the guy's willing to speak to me about something. And I want to speak to him about his stupid ass clickbait title and his stupid ass arguments about Glovegate. I mean, literally using, you know, store-bought gloves from Walmart or whatever. He had the same exact one I have right here. The same exact one that I held, a 12-ounce glove, the same exact one I'm holding in my hand right here, using it as an example. Look, man, it won't bend that way. Look, he's going like this, you know. He's got the guy on the phone with him, and he's like this, you know. Look, man, if you throw a hook, man, it's impossible to bend. It's impossible to bend, you know. Like, first off, again, this is a glove for hitting the bag. This is a store-bought glove. These gloves are different from the gloves that those guys fight with professionally. They're totally different. They don't have Velcro on the wrist. They don't have that, you know. I played audio from a glove expert who said that Everlast MX gloves are soft gloves because they want to give fighters a better chance at parrying shots. I know they're called a puncher's glove, but he says that the reason why they make them that way is so that the guys can parry shots from their opponent much easier, which make them more flexible. You know what I'm saying? So it's not crazy to think that the glove can move back like that. And I showed other examples of other fighters when their gloves are bending back like that, man. So it's not impossible, okay? It's not none of that bullshit that he's talking about, man. I'm sorry, it's just not. And again, it's not personal. I don't know this guy. I've never spoke to him before. But the things that he puts out there, the false reporting, the false narratives and things like that, it's got to be addressed. The title of the video was this. Look, let me read it to you real quick. The title of the video was Breaking News, Deontay Wilder wins tampered glove case versus Tyson Fury for cheating for criminal attempt, right? But it ends up being him talking to some guy on his show about it. That's all it is. That's all it is. It never talks about the case because, for number one, there is no case. This shit never went to court. Wilder hasn't taken him to court for tampering with gloves or putting his fist in the wrist area of a glove. And I mean, look, here's the thing. They think that his hand was right here. You know, they're like, oh, look, you can see the knuckles there. That's knuckles. First off, it's not knuckles. It's just when your hand is taped up, you know, you get that little crease on the palm there. That's what you're seeing, which would normally be in this part of a professional glove, you know. But, you know, this is what they're claiming, that he had his hand like this. Like, what did you notice that? Like, you would notice that. And, like, I'm sorry, but anybody that believes that the glove is on his hand is in the wrist area, and you're throwing punches at somebody, Like, this glove is going to come flying off, man. It's going to come flying off. It won't stay on your hand. I mean, it's just so stupid, you know? So stupid. And this guy really, really trying to push that garbage, you know? No, Paul, you there yet, bro?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I had to move a couple things aside, you know.
All good, Rasa. What's on your mind, man?
Nothing. Did the homie Aki or that dude Aki show up or what?
He's not showing up, man. I wish he would, but he's not going to. We know he don't want to talk to nobody, man. Nobody that's going to challenge him. Nobody that's going to press him on anything. He don't want to talk to them, man.
I mean, what would happen if you would have called in, which maybe somebody else has called in, but I mean, how do these guys operate?
Well, here's the thing. From what I know, they have, you know, the ability to take phone calls from people listening. I've seen people make videos where they say, and they show the video of, they're like, look, I'm calling in, my area code is there. Why aren't you answering the call? And he's like, I don't see your number. I see this number. I see that number. I don't see it. So there's already evidence out there that he's ducking smoke from people.
So what he's basically doing is screening phone calls. He probably already has his callers ready, and he's not gonna allow them to say, you know, get off topic, and you know, or not get off topic, but he's not gonna have a guy in there that's gonna question anything that he says, right?
Yeah, that's honestly, dude. And I will tell him this to his face. That's a punk way of going about it, man. Just because somebody has a difference of opinion, you're just gonna mute them, censor them, kick them out, hang up on them. Like, if that's the case, no, Paul, you wouldn't be here. You know, you wouldn't be here right now talking to me, because we've disagreed on several things. You know, so that's not the way. That's not the way a real man does things. I don't run from people that have a difference of opinion. This guy runs. Him and Boxing Eagle are notorious for that. I think Boxing Eagle is worse. I mean, he just if you just say one little thing in the comment section, he's like, well, get this fucker out of there, block him right now. I don't want him in here and shit. Like what are you running from, bro? Like, why are you so afraid of a difference of opinion?
Basically, I only want people that are gonna agree with me here. And if you come out with some evidence or something, I'm cutting you off right away, and I'm pretending like the reception's bad or something. You know, come back when you know it's better. You know, something weird like that, or you know, and I have a lot of personal experience with this. You know, various different channels, they'll call you for a debate. When you call in, they're like, hey, I'm not ready right now. Just give me a second. That type of stuff. And, you know, and then they mute you, and then they pretend like, hey, it's cutting off when you show up with the facts. Man, it's crazy. A lot of people, especially new media, and, you know, I'm not going to name nobody by names, but these guys, every time they do their videos, they literally do the stupidest videos, man. They don't show any of the real facts, you know? And then when they're proven wrong, they never come back and admit it. They're just on the same narrative still, you know? And what's good is that we're calling them out, and, you know, people already know this. I don't understand why they have these type of channels have so many subscribers. I guess the only reason is because they're telling them, they're giving them music to their ears. And there's a lot of weak ass boxing fans. All they want to hear is, you know, the only thing they want to hear is what they want to believe, basically. You know, you got a lot of Billy Stewards over here sitting at the park waiting for you type mofos. You know what I mean?
Yep. I believe you, Mexico native. I definitely believe you on that, man, because that guy is so sensitive, man. He will not allow anybody to have a difference of opinion. And it won't even, I've seen it to where, like, people, they're not even getting personal. They're not talking shit about him or anything like that. They're just like, hey, man, what about this? What about that? And he's like, get that fucker out of here now. Get him out of here. You know, like, he'll stop the show like, I ain't going to say nothing else unless somebody gets rid of him. You know, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, that is some punk stuff, man, straight up. And again, I was cool with this guy. He, you know, here's how I discovered Boxing Eagle, no, Paul. I was doing videos. I started back in 2012. I made a video, I believe it was about Danny Garcia versus Eric Morales, their rematch that they had. And I did a prediction video on it, and he came to my channel and left a comment on the video. This was before there was live chats or anything like that, but he left a comment on my video, and then I looked at it and I clicked on it and I seen he had a channel and stuff. So I was like, hey, you know, let's watch it, you know. And he was good at first. He was actually pretty good, you know. I subscribed to him. I learned that he was from Oakland, which is, you know, a 90-minute drive from where I live. So he's, you know, he's not far from where I'm at. He's from Northern California. And then he just turned into somebody else, man, over the years. You know, once he started to build a big fan base, he started covering fights. He just turned into this narrative pushing machine, false narrative pushing machine, and he can't deal with anybody that disagrees with him, man. Like, I just don't know how this guy is able to go to fights and talk to people. Like, you know, there's gonna be people there that disagree with you. Like, what are you gonna do then? Run and hide from them? Like, I don't I don't understand how this happens with guys like that. D Style here says, you go block me because I said MX gloves are legal. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Joe Lopez 40 ounces. I'm blocked from Eagles channel too. I don't remember what I said to get blocked.
Hey, you know what's crazy about the MX gloves is ever since Floyd pulled that move, that bitch ass move versus Maidana, it's almost like a shadow has been cast over MX gloves. And previous to that, you had people like Cotto using them. You had I'm not saying that Cotto stopped using them. Obviously, he doesn't fight anymore. But other fighters, they were very popular gloves. And recently, I seen a Mayweather kind of bragging about getting rid of certain gloves. You know, not being any more popular and making the Grants really popular. So that could have been a move just to kind of like to make Grants popular. But at the same time, it's a fucked up move because I think even at one point they had outlawed MX. I don't know if it was a rumor, but you couldn't go to the UK and fight somebody in MX Everlast gloves. You know what I mean?
Wow, I did not know that, and I don't know any information about that.
I mean, I don't know if it's 100% accurate what I'm saying. Nevertheless, it was a rumor that was started. Not sure if it's true. It's a 50-50 whether that was true. You know, nonetheless, UK fighters never really used MX Everlast gloves, anyways. But we do know that in the gyms and all that over here, they were real popular. You know, there's probably, and they're not cheap gloves either. You know. They're real leather gloves and they got the good materials, you know. It's just that it was known as a puncher's glove. And Floyd basically bitched out and had to have some kind of mental advantage on Maidana. Nevertheless, I mean, a lot of people I know thought that Maidana beat the fuck out of Floyd. I mean, not literally, you know, scoring headshots, but I mean, just the amount of the activity that he had in that first fight. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
here's a funny thing I want to say, not to cut you off, but these guys, especially Dante, because like I said, I'm not even subscribed to AKHi. The way I saw this video was because Dante shared it. You know, like when you subscribe to somebody and they share a video from somebody else, like it shows up on your subscription feed, you know? So that's how I saw this. But I remember, you know, him and fucking AKHi talking about when they were trying to make their case for Tyson Fury cheating. Like, one of the titles was like, Mayweather comes out and says that Tyson Fury cheated too, and then all they wanted to use was the incident with Maidana, and not one time did they mention the fact that Pretty Boy Floyd paid this guy $1.5 million to wear Power Lock MX gloves.
Exactly.
Floyd didn't have the power to change the gloves like he said. He had to use the backup pair. And he had the nerve to say, fuck it, put him in the same shit as me and then walk away. Like, no. No.
And then that one guy, the guy that was working for Golden Boy, Schaefer guy, he was like, oh yeah, we even gave him the option to use Horsehair Reyes gloves. You know what I mean? Like, like that's gonna make a difference, bro, in what actually happened. It was a total bitch move, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Total bitch move from Floyd's part, you know, to do that. I mean, and I gotta bring up Canelo. When have you seen Canelo do that type of shit? You know what I mean? People try to say that he's like a big A-side diva and all this. Come on, man. You have motherfuckers like Cotto pulling shit. You had fucking the master of puppeteer divas right here in the house, Mayweather, and you're gonna go and fucking complain about what the little small moves that Canelo did? Come on, man. Get out of here with that shit, man. That's why when I hear shit like that, I gotta fucking I gotta go head up with it right away. But unfortunately, with these guys like Dante and AKHi, it's a race agenda, man. Clearly, I don't know why AKHi does it, man, because I think he's an Arab, and I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of weird. He looks kind of like a feminine person too. Like he has these weird little bandanas around his head. They're like silk, you know.
Well,
And
I think that's a culture thing, though. I think that's
no,
what
but I
that
mean,
is.
I got Muslim buddies, and they say that it's against their religion to actually even use
like a head wrap.
silk. Yeah, to even use silk. So I'm like wondering what's going like that. I mean, I don't mean to attack the person personally, and I'm not attacking them personally. I'm just saying what I see, and you know. But clearly, it's like a race thing. It's like, you know, you're always going against the fighters that that are not that pose a threat to to their favorite fighters, and it's okay. It's okay. You can back up whoever you want, and coming from a Mexican like me, I allow people to, you know what I mean? I have no personal issue with people backing up, and I actually encourage that, you know what I mean? From different cultures. Go ahead and back up your fighters. But when it comes to lies and all that shit, you don't gotta lie about it. Just keep it real. Stick to the truth and don't invent up lies. And when you gotta, they get these narratives that get pushed and they jump right up on them. Like they didn't waste no time to jump on every single narrative that benefits, Wilder. They wasted no fucking time. Even the narratives that made no fucking sense just to benefit Wilder, make him look good. Try to say that he's up there with Ali on defenses and all that. Like, you know what I mean? One of the greatest heavyweights. Come on, man. They're overdoing it right there.
Like, bro, I gotta show this one more time. Just look at this fucking clickbait title, bro. Like, look at that. Deontay Wilder wins tampered glove case versus Tyson Fury for cheating for criminal attempt. The video literally had nothing to do with that. All he did was talk to some, what he likes to call, decaf on the phone. That's it.
With that kind of title, you almost expect to see some footage from the courtroom, you know what I mean? Like some real footage,
right.
Like backing this shit up. But no, it's just some freaking. I remember, as far as Dante, I remember one time when Dante was, trying to use Juan Manuel Marquez as an example of why Floyd Mayweather's an ATG, and he had a guy that I think he used to call himself counter punch boxing or something, but he wasn't the YTBC guy that everybody knows as counter punch boxing. He was a dude from Texas. They used to go by that name, I believe, and that guy used to do collabs with him, and when that was one time when, you know what I mean, it was just totally fucked up because Dante he cut the dude off completely when the guy was saying, well, Dante, you do got to accept that Mayweather, signed that fight at like a catch weight and just to help, bridge the gap between coming up 2 weight classes for Marquez. And, that kind of, the guy was trying to lightly explain, give a little bit of bridge. I mean, he was trying to lightly explain, that Mayweather did sort of take advantage of Marquez right there, with the weight and all that. And fucking Dante goes and cuts him off. And then best believe that next week, the dude wasn't even on the show anymore. He was like, and he even made some videos freaking dogging the dude out, kind of saying, well, you guys heard how, he basically, you know what I mean? You heard what happened. And then later on, he's like saying that, nah, well, the guy has some personal engagements and, he just couldn't be on the show. So stop asking me about the guy.
I remember exactly what you're talking about. I remember exactly.
You remember that, huh? I was like, what the F? Like, come on, Dante.
And that's the thing. See, I supported Dante back then because, like I said, I was subscribed to the guy when he was Dante 562, and he would come to my channels just like I explained with Eagle. He would come to my channel, comment on my videos. I would comment on his videos. Like, we would go back and forth, and he's a cool dude. And like I said, he invited me on his show back when he had that radio show. It just, like I said, I just didn't have the time back then. I had just become a father, and my daughter was taking up all of my time. the only reason why I cut that video in response, I can't remember what it was, but it's still on my channel. You can find it on my channel. I literally recorded that video on my phone while I was driving home from work. Like, that was really the only free time I had back then, was when I'm driving home from work. You know, I was so busy. But I know I heard him say recently that he might think about doing the radio show again. So believe me when I say this, if he does, I'm going straight to the chat and I'm telling him, you offered me an opportunity. I still got the email. Let's do this. And I will call out his boy AKHi on his platform straight up, man. Because I really need to speak with this guy about this nonsense he's pushing, man. I really do. This clickbait nonsense, man.
Brother. It's gonna be difficult because your boy Dante's somewhere in
I believe he's in Thailand.
Yeah, he's somewhere in Thailand. So I man, that's hard to believe that he's gonna put a show together and let people call in. I mean, that's why he's letting AKHi do it, because AKHi benefited from all his subscribers and stuff. You know what I mean? That was kind of
he did, man.
You know, kind of like a pass me down type thing. And you know, I don't know. You know, there's rumors about what he's doing over there, but we're not going to get into no personal reasons, you know, and that's just how it is, man. Some of these guys, they don't want to be thrown in the hot seat.
Nope.
You know, all they do is pander for them for that YouTube money, and that's all they do. Music to their subscribers' ears, because some fans don't want to hear the truth, man. Seriously, a lot of fans don't want to hear the truth.
Absolutely, man. Look at me, Chicano Prophet, who's in the Canelo cartel. Presidente of the Canelo cartel put me on the hot seat on my platform here.
Let's talk about that right there, man. Let's revisit that golden moment that happened on HCP TV. These G-Funk. What's up with that? What was, I mean, because we know where you were coming from back then, but what were the after effects of that? What did we accomplish by doing that? I mean, we accomplished one thing that I can say is we can say that you're a good sport, and you know, you were willing to explain yourself on you know, on your opinion and all that. But what can you say about that?
Well, like I said, I'm the type of guy that, you know, I welcome a difference of opinion. Chicano Prophet, you know, he spoke to me behind the scenes. He said, "Hey, man, you know, I want to question you about some of the things that you said about Canelo in the past." I said, "Hey, let's do it." You know, and he put me on the hot seat. He pulled up all the receipts, you know, because I don't take down videos, you know. And a lot of my videos here on Canelo, you know, they got a lot of views for obvious reasons. But I don't remove them, you know. And I'm not one of these guys that I'm not afraid to say, "Hey, look, maybe I misjudged Canelo early in his career." And, you know, I could change my stance on him and say, "Hey, look, I was wrong about the guy." You know, early on, I felt like he was receiving a little too much credit for some of the things that he was doing, for some of the guys that he was fighting. Like, guys were talking about Canelo back then, like he's doing what he's doing now. You know, like now there's really not much room for criticism at all for what Canelo's been doing, you know, in the last couple of years at all. But back then when he was beating guys like Citron and Alfonso Gomez and Matthew Hatton and Josecito Lopez, like, they were saying all those same things back then. I'm like, look, let's just pump the brakes. Let's see him fight these guys like Trout, and he fought Trout. Let's see him fight these guys like Lara. He fought Lara, you know? Like, the guys who I wanted to see him fight, he got in there and won. Now, regardless of who we think won the fight, you know, I know we have a difference of opinion on the Lara fight, but he fought him. Can't take that away from him, you know? He stepped up to the plate and did it. So my position could change on him, and it's already changing on him because I like the things that he's been doing lately. So, you know, I feel like it accomplished a lot, man. It showed that, you know, you guys were paying attention to everything that I was saying, and that's good. I don't mind that. And it showed that I'm not willing or I'm not afraid to sit down and have a conversation with you guys at all about it, you know, and call me out on whatever you think it is, you know. If I was AKHi or Ego, I would be like, "Get this fucker out of here," you know.
Yeah, and you know, that's the thing. I mean, for everybody listening right now, this is the sign of a real motherfucker right there. I mean, a real cool person. Excuse my language. You know, like a real person right there. You know, you know, there's a chance to change his opinion a little bit. But when you got other people on YouTube that, you know, they're clearly just, you know, following a narrative, and, you know, you ain't going to change their opinion. In fact, their opinion's a lie because they know the truth. They're just playing off on making money on YouTube, stuff like that, really. And gotta congratulate you for that, G Funky. Thanks for keeping it real, like your show says, the home of the real boxing talk. And, you know, you're staying true to what you know, what you say, man.
Hey,
And
you're a part of that too, man. Let's not forget that. You know, you're HCP too, man. Cartel, Canelo Cartel, bro. So, you
man,
know
I
what I'm saying?
appreciate that, bro. I
That's
appreciate that.
that's what we do, man. You know, we keep it boxing around here, you know, and sure, we all have our little bias towards things of that, but it's not over the top like some of these guys are. You know, it's not to the point where, at least not for me, I can speak for myself, it's not over the top bias on certain things, you know, like I said, I'm willing to say, hey, look, I was wrong. Like, I'm not above correction when it comes to certain things, you know. It's a part of life.
Yeah.
That's how you learn, that's how you grow, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Going back on that Canelo thing, at the beginning, I do think that people were a little over the top with the hype, you know, just at the beginning for a little bit. Like
Mm-hmm.
the dude was literally just fighting the people he was supposed to fight, yet he was getting a lot of attention. Really, let me just change that real quick. It wasn't that he was getting a lot of hype, it was that he was getting a lot of attention, more attention than the normal. You see what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
was getting more attention and more, you know what I mean? Like, that makes a lot of people jealous off the bat. You know what I mean? When the focus goes to them and other people putting in work, and they're like, well, why does he get this? Why, you know, why is he in the privileged position and stuff? So that's probably what set a lot of people wrong. But when you revisit his career and you start looking at it, you know, like his fights and all that, you start finding out that the dude didn't really have an amateur career. So most of the shit that he did, you know, when he was 15, it was all on the fly, bro. It was like, you got to learn on the job, bro. And his coaches, they put a lot into him, man. They gave him a lot of attention. You know, they did a lot of things. They even sent him with Triple G over there. So, you know, so he could see what he was going to be up against, you know, in the future. You're going to fight fighters like this. And, you know, they brought him up slowly. You know, even though, I mean, if you keep it real for his age, he's way ahead of a lot of fighters. You know what I mean?
Oh
But
yeah, oh yeah.
yeah,
The resume, you know, again, regardless of what I think, um, you know, the fights that he won or lost, like he got in there with these guys, you know, and the guys who people claim he's ducking now, like they haven't taken those kind of fights, you know, and they're much older than Canelo when Canelo took those fights. So, I mean, you know, that's a whole different topic there. We're going to go down a whole nother road with Canelo, you know, but
yeah. I mean, nowadays we have the Teofimo Lopez's doing, you know, doing really good. You know, at the beginning, and now people are starting to attack him. They're attacking the Ryan Garcias, you know,
mhm.
and we all got to be ready for that sort of thing, because, you know, to keep it all in perspective. And a great thing that I always used like to do is just, you know, switch it around on them a little bit and say, hey, well, why aren't you criticizing this other guy? It's like, you know, why aren't you criticizing this guy? Well, and then you hear something like, well, you know, we're bringing this guy's being brought up to be mostly just a pay-per-view star. Oh, okay. Well, why is that okay for him, but it's not okay for this guy? You know, this guy's even younger than the guy that you're talking about. So, you know, the double standards are easy to, you know, a lot of this stuff, we've heard so many narratives. It kind of, it gets you ready to, so it kind of like, it gets you ready to debate mostly any kind of thing, as long as you keep an unbiased view on how things are. You know, it makes those kind of arguments, as long as they give you a chance to argue it, you know, it makes it easy. It gives you an advantage, a big time advantage, you know?
Yeah, I agree, man. Let me send a text to the wife real quick. But yeah, man, I didn't expect this guy to show up today. because again, he's just, to me, he's just, you know, the way he carries himself is like a coward. You know, if you don't want to speak to somebody that has a difference of opinion, you know, that just to me, that's just a coward way of doing things, you know. And I said this earlier in the show, a man will battle any adversity, but a coward will only fight a battle that he knows he can win. And that's what he's done his entire time on YouTube. His entire time that he's had a platform to where he's able to take calls from callers and things like that, he's only willing to speak to guys that he knows he can beat up on, or what he calls decafs, you know. That's punk stuff, man. Speak to me. Like, I'm not a big channel. Speak to me. You should be able to handle me, right? Nobody knows me. You should be able to handle me, right? You know, let's do this thing. I'm ready, man. I'm fucking ready, you know. I get my boy No Paul too, man. No Paul want a piece of him too.
I don't know, man. I think you personally got too much smoke for his ass, bro. You man, you run circles around these race calves.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, the thing is this, man. It's easy when you just stick to boxing and stick to the facts. You know, like, there's no reason for me to push narratives. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. You know, like, I've already got everything I want in life. You know, I got everything that I want. Like, there's no need for me to push and push lies and things like that just to get people to give me super chats and all this other nonsense. You know, like, if that's the way he wants to make his money, then hey, more power to him. You know, but I don't need to do that. That's why I don't go around pushing for subscribers and shit like that. Like, you don't see me going on other people's platforms. Like, and believe me, I've been on some big platforms. I could easily be like, hey man, why don't you just let me, you know, put my link out there so people could subscribe to my channel and all that. Like, I don't do that, because at the end of the day, all I want to do is just talk boxing with people that know boxing. That's it. It's not about money. It's not about having a big giant subscriber base. None of that. I'm just here to speak boxing with you guys, and that's it. And I've got that. Look, I'm on a great show with D-Style Hispanics Causing Panic. I'm on the Leave It in the Ring network. Like, I've talked to fighters. Like, I'm literally doing everything that this guy's doing with a much smaller platform. You know, like, and hey, I'm ready anytime this guy wants to get it on, man. I'm like Ruben Guerrero. Anytime, I'm ready. Theo Ruben, you know.
Yeah, man. When we gonna go find Ruben, bro?
I don't know, man. Davato said we can go over to Gilroy when we're ready, man, when the pandemic's over. So,
yeah,
you know, we're going to go check him out, bro. You know,
in the Rampla, eh? Huh.
Yeah. He seems like a cool dude, man. You know, can't wait to meet him in person, man. I can't wait for this pandemic to be over, because HCP, I'm telling you, man, we're going to take over, man. I feel like we already have some of the best content out there when it just comes to boxing. And, you know, we're here to stay, man. We ain't going nowhere, man. Mexico Native says Spence is just now beginning to fight name opponents. Canelo fought Lara how long ago? 6 years ago. Fought TBE at age 23. Fought the guy who broke Brooke twice. Yeah. People can't deny those facts, man.
Come on, Mexico Native. What are you talking about? Spence is #1 pound for pound. Crawford's #2. And Canelo's like somewhere around #4, bruh. Come on, man.
I honestly don't understand I mean, I know why, but I just don't know how somebody could put Spence #1. I mean, yeah, he's a unified champion at 147, and that's great, you know. But I mean, he's been in there with Brooke, who again is coming off of an eye injury. He beat Mikey Garcia in impressive fashion, but he is a much smaller guy. And he beat Sean Porter in a fight that was very, very good, very close. You know, I thought Spence won it, but there's a lot of people out there that felt he lost that fight, you know? So, I mean, 3 wins, I mean, does that make you #1 pound for pound? I mean, I wouldn't say that. And again, I don't make pound for pound lists, but I wouldn't consider him #1. You know, I could put him on the list somewhere, but it wouldn't be #1, you know?
Yeah. I know a lot of people don't like pound for pound lists, but I personally, you know, that's one of my things, dude. I really like the pound for pound list. A reason why is because you can use it as a tool to kind of like get, you know, understand another person, how they view boxing, you know, like, you know, you ask them, well, what's your pound for pound list? I know, granted, a lot of people will answer that with, well, I don't really do them, but if, you know, if I had to do one, this is how it'd be. You know, and I get that. You know, a lot of people are not into it because it is kind of lame when you really think about it. I mean, what's the true meaning between pound for pound? As far as me, I grew up in, you know, my most active time in boxing was, you know, when you had Mayweather, you had Juan Manuel Marquez, and you had Pacquiao, you know, basically as your pound for pound kings right there. And, you know, the thing that stuck with me the most during that era is you had these little ass guys that would literally rehydrate to like between 142 to, well, we're not sure what Mayweather rehydrated to because he would never weigh himself. So we're not really sure about that, but nevertheless, he was viewed as a guy that was small. Even what's his name, Robert Guerrero, he was a small dude. He would only rehydrate to like 143 at welterweight, maybe between 143 and 145. So I always viewed the pound for pound list for guys that were like fighting, their skills carried up beyond their weight class, you know, so they had so many skills they had to move up and fight, you know, take risks and take bigger risks with bigger dudes. So that's my idea with the pound for pound list. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I, you know, I really like the pound for pound list. It's you know, you can use it in many ways to also see where a boxing fan's head is at. You know, like you ask them, what's your pound for pound list, and they'll be like, well, I got Deontay Wilder #1, you know, and my #2 is you know, they'll be like, my #2 is Crawford, and my #3 is Spence. And so you'll be like, what the F? You know? So you're wondering what, you're kind of like seeing where their head is at. They're just picking the guys they like, you know, and you know, that's kind of where
Yeah, it's not honest most of the time. I feel like, you know, the reason pound for pound was created was for a guy named Sugar Ray Robinson back in the, you know, 1940s and 50s. He was a guy that was jumping, you know, he fought at welterweight, he fought at middleweight, he went all the way up to light heavyweight and almost won that title. But it was for a guy like that, you know, who was not a heavyweight fighter because, you know, back then, if you were the heavyweight champion of the world, like you were the guy. You know, you were #1 in the sport, and nobody else could challenge the throne. It wasn't until this guy was doing what he was doing, you know, winning belts in multiple divisions like that, and they decided to do it. Like that's the way I was explained by my grandfather, who was, you know, alive back then. So you know, it's for me. If I was to make a list, I wouldn't put heavyweights on there because they should just stand alone. You know, like the heavyweight champion of the world is the heavyweight champion of the world. The problem is, you know, this with all the belts, like it's not undisputed like it was back then. Like when Joe Louis had his 25 defenses of the heavyweight title, he was the only champion back then. You know, he had the only belt back then. So it's not the way that it is today, you know, but I would still separate, if I was making, I would separate the heavyweights from the rest of the guys. But there's a lot of people that think that the heavyweights should be on there, you know?
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of Fury fans feel like he should be on there. And
Rome 33, hey man, I appreciate it, man. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is HCP, Hispanics Causing Panic, man. This is, yeah, it's a home for Latinos, man. You know, I mean, you know, we're not biased towards Latinos, but you know, we talk about Latino fighters, and you know, a lot of us are Latino here, or all of us are, I should say. So yeah, eso, I see that. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my boy D Style. That's where we do the Hispanics Causing Panic show. So make sure you subscribe. Go ahead, No Paul.
Shoot, I literally forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry about that, man. I just wanted to address the new guest here who said he was liking what he was seeing, you know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I just remembered right now. I just wanted to thank anybody listening to us from Nonstop Boxing on boxingscene.com. You know, I know a lot of you guys have come by and showed us some love over here, and
yeah,
you know, I would advise you guys to come to the channel and, you know, subscribe to D Style Boxing and G Funk, our host right now on his channel. We do a little thing called Uncensored where you can come through and, you know, we might even give you a link if you got a good argument on something, anything, you know, you could come through and talk your shit.
Exactly, and you won't get censored. That's why it's uncensored. You know what I'm saying? As long as you act like an adult and you stick to boxing, you stick to the topics, it's all good, man. You know, I hope this video circulates on boxing scene. Maybe it'll get to AKHi, and he'll have some guts to talk to somebody that actually knows some shit. You know, this will be the last time that that his name will be mentioned on this channel, unless he gets a hold of me somehow, some way, and decides that he wants to speak to me on a neutral platform. I will not go on his platform. That is just that's out of the question. You know, and he don't have to come here. Like I said, it won't have to be on my channel or his channel. It'll be in a neutral platform. We can do this, you know, not an issue with me. But, you know, here, I won't censor him. I will let him talk. I've proven that. But I know he won't come here. That's the thing, you know, but, you know, we'll see, man. Hopefully it does happen, man. But no, Paul, I've been on, man, over 3 hours. I'm not a young man anymore. I don't have the energy to go all night, you know, but anything you want to touch on before I close it out, man?
No, we pretty much touched on everything. Thank you for letting me come by, and salute to everybody in the chat. And you guys have a good day off, you know, from work. You know, not going to mention what today's about because, you know, that doesn't even matter.
Exactly. And you guys, again, I've explained my position earlier in the show, but, you know, you're always welcome here anytime. No, Paul. That goes without saying. I want to thank everybody that showed up. I know I've been here a long time. There's a lot of people in and out. Anybody new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time I'm live for Uncensored. And like No Paul said, that's the platform where if you want to come on, you can come on. You just got to email me. Let me put my email on here again real quick. And this is even for AKHi. If he comes across this shit, there's my email right there at the bottom. You can email me. Let me know what you want to talk about, and you can come on, man. It's not an issue with me at all. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I know a lot of you guys were, you know, celebrating Thanksgiving. G-Funk was not. That's why I was live. So, you know, I want to thank you guys if you were, you know, if you took time away from your family to come check out what G-Funky was saying. I appreciate that. Thank you. And anybody that watches this on archive, make sure you smash that like button. All right. And if you're new, subscribe. So for Nopal, this is G-Funk, man. HCP is out. We'll see you guys on the next one.